He didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Well, good morning. Are you disappointed for a second? Were you thinking you get Maggie and Perloff? Is that Perloff, Dan Patrick's old guy, Andrew Perloff?
Correct.
What was his? Was that? That's not McLovin, is it? Didn't he have a nickname?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Good for him. Welcome in, everybody. Good morning. How are you? Gonna enjoy you today. I will not see you for a couple of weeks, as it is his getaway day from moi. Spoke to Jason yesterday, and he will be back tomorrow. And he'll Jason around and do Jason things. Jason far nicer and a better human than I am. That's not saying anything out of turn. So enjoy that. And then I think again, I don't even know when, but I know at some point he's gone. And let's see if this works. So yes, we've been having these computer issues, and it's on the wrong computer, but I appreciate Joft, our engineer, Joe Foft. I call him Joft. I have the YouTube on here. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chris. Let me mute the YouTube. Mute tab. And I can't use, they don't have a Safari, so I'm forced to. What the hell is Internet Explorer now? Do you know? It's something that's not Internet Explorer. It's Edge.
That's it.
I hate Edge. All right, let's see if here's Juan Soto hitting a 3-run home run. Let's see if select an app to open this file. Media player, always, I guess. I don't know. Okay, here's.
And he swings and drives it deep into right field. And
that work? Does that work in my headphones? All right, let's try Wyatt Langford with an RBI single.
Wilson getting his right.
Okay, all right, so that'll work. So we have sound. That's good. So now we can provide you things like the Miguel Andujar RBI double for Oakland yesterday. John Harbaugh and his vision for Lamar Jackson. Gilbert Arenas on Team USA's win over Sudan. I know we all want to hear from Gilbert Arenas. Mike Brown on Jamar Chase's extension. Got to be honest, why is Mike Brown commenting on a Bengals receiver? That makes no sense whatsoever. Anyway, glad to have you all here. In case you didn't know, I'm Dave. That is Chris. We will be here all the way until 10 a.m. And Stiles and Watkins will join us at some point. We have guests for you today. And throughout the show, one thing I would like thoughts on from you all is, well, see, I can't move I can't drag in between. Oh. I can drag between monitors. It's just I have to go right on this monitor to hit the left monitor. Okay, well, that's neat. You know what? It works. I ain't bitching. Although I can't see the chat. So since I have, look, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. My family has never traveled like this before. Their longest flight was from here to New York. I have been trying desperately to instill in them that this is not a flight to New York. This is a 6.5-hour flight to New York, followed by an 8-hour flight to Frankfurt, followed by an 1.5-hour flight to Munich, followed by a 1 hour and 40-minute drive to Bad Herring, Austria. This is a lot of traveling, and you have to pack accordingly. You have to be nimble, but most importantly, you have to be ready by the time we leave later today. Our flight leaves out of San Francisco at 6 a.m. tomorrow, so we will be going to San Francisco today because one of the hotels down there, I figured it out. It's actually cheaper. Here's a tip. One of the hotels down there has one of them park and ride things. So you stay at the hotel and then you can leave your car there, and it costs $15 a week to leave your car there, which is far less than what it would cost to leave your vehicle at SFO for what will amount to about 15 days. So we're going to go down there. And they're not going to be ready, and they're going to forget things, and they're not going to be prepared for the plane flight. But really, is anybody ever prepared for a long plane flight? I don't enjoy flying, but I don't hate it anymore. It's fine. It's necessary. It's the only way to do the thing. But I just hate when you're on a long flight and you look at like the little thing that I like looking at the map to see where I'm at and how much time's left. And it's like, oh God, I have 3 hours. And then you look again 2 hours later and it's like,
Dave, we're still on the tarmac.
Yeah, right. Exactly, dude. And my whole thing is for the last, like, I'm either going to do movies. I'm going to work on some stuff. What I really want to do is try to play video games. But the problem is I have a MacBook, and it's the weirdest thing. Like, I love Apple products for the most part. There are many annoying things about them. But yeah, video games on a MacBook suck. And the only video games that really don't suck, you have to play with a mouse in your hands, like the keyboard. I've never been able to do that, man. I feel like those are there's people that love to game on PCs, like Nate Littlefield or Nate Littlefield. Yeah, Nate Littlefield, right? Yeah. Him. Sorry. He's a PC gamer.
Is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I found that out the other day. I need a controller. Like I'm a PlayStation or Xbox guy or a Switch guy. I've tried. Life would be a lot easier if I knew how to play on a PC, but I can't. And I know there's PC gamers out there that are like, "Oh, it's far better," and I get it. Like I'm not arguing. All the like you can shoot better in first person shooters and the aim, and I get it. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying I can't.
It's like the people that were older than you when you're playing PlayStation say, "No, I just need the stick."
The little joystick, the one stick with the little orange button on the top left or top right or whatever. Yeah, I've tried it. And I get when I bring up something like the issues with gaming on a MacBook. I get. Look, I have an iPhone. I'm an Apple guy, but I do hate Apple truthers. Just like I hate truthers for anything. Like it's okay to say things. So anytime I even mention like, yeah, dude, you can't really game on a MacBook, and somebody inevitably is like, oh, that's because that's not what MacBooks do. I'm like, no, I get it. It would just be nice when you're sitting with a $2,000 or whatever the hell it was computer. It'd be nice to be able to shoot things on it, like Borderlands. I have Borderlands on there, trying to download from Steam. Hey, Borderlands, it says it's controller compatible. Well, no. If it is, I can't get it to work because I have the Xbox controller all connected via Bluetooth, and I get in there, and the only thing I've been able to find that works is Resident Evil BioShock or something, Biohazard. And I don't want to play a scary game on the flights. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, man. I know I'm going to wear compression socks because you're supposed to. I know I'm going to get up and walk around because I'm always worried about like blood clots and stuff and all the stuff you read.
You don't want to fly raw?
The raw dog in the flight. What? That's the thing. Yeah, dude. I don't understand those people at all. Like, and what Chris means is like no entertainment, no nothing. You're just literally staring straight
No sleeping.
ahead. No sleeping. I don't get it. By the way, I wish I could go in this catatonic state and meditate. I could probably do that for like 20 minutes, but at some point, even sleeping is doing something. The problem is I can't sleep on planes. I've tried. I can fall asleep for 2 seconds and then jump awake, and then I'm awake for another 2 hours and then fall asleep again. The other problem is that we're flying during awake hours. We leave at 6 a.m., which means the plane will take off in just under 24 hours, almost exactly 24 hours from now. And it's when I'm awake, I'm doing my show. And then the whole day we're flying is awake time. And then by the time it's sleep time around 10:30, that's when we're going to be landing in Frankfurt and have the layover and then going to Munich. We get to Munich at 10 a.m. Munich time, which is 2 a.m. our time. We'll probably be on the road, I'm guessing, bags, international, rental car, all that. We'll probably be on the road, let's say 11. It's an hour 40-something to the place in Austria I'm going. So it's going to be effectively 3 a.m. I will not have slept. I'm going to be on the Autobahn with my family. Super great idea. And then I just found out yesterday they have a preseason match. They moved it back. The preseason match starts at 1:30. Let's do the math. I'm on the road at 11. It's 2 hours. That's 1 o'clock. By the way, the match is 20 minutes from the hotel, which means if we go to the match, that means we have to go straight from the airport to the match and then 2 hours of that before we even get back to try to do whatever. And at that point, you can't sleep. You got to stay awake the rest of the day, but you're basically catatonic from being up this whole time. And it became a big war of the sexes in my household because the ladies of the house were like, oh, no, we're not going to the match. We're going to the hotel. Well, why? Because I don't want to meet all your people for the very first time looking like I've traveled for 18 hours. And let's play a game for those of you, whether you're married or single. Let's play a game. I'm going to give you multiple choice. And I want you to pick the one you're not supposed to say in response to, we need to go to the hotel. I don't want to meet your people for the first time looking like I've traveled. A.
Set the screen.
A. That's a great idea. We'll go to the hotel. B. You know what? I totally get it. We could drop you guys off at the hotel, get some sleep. Mason and I'll go to the match. Or C. Nobody cares what you look like. If you chose C as the one that you're not supposed to say, you're correct. But it's true. Like nobody's going to stop the match and be like, oh, your hair. Nobody cares. I understand wanting to make a good first impression, but no, just go to the
gross.
Just go to the match. So anyways, that will be an interesting beginning.
You're really in that limbo. I'm trying to even think of where to, because once you hit like 2 p.m., you just have to suck it up.
You have to stay awake till at least 8. You can get away with going to bed at like 8 p.m. on whatever new time you are, and then sleep through. And then you're usually, you feel it for about a day. But that's the best way to beat the jet lag. You make yourself you got to stay awake. I feel like 8 p.m. is the earliest because I'm not even then I'm not sleeping 10 hours. So I'm probably up around 4 or 5 a.m. Austrian time the next day, but that's fine. And then that night I go to bed a little later. That's how you adjust. But I'm telling you, man, these gonna be very interesting. Plus the kids aren't sitting with us. So that worries us. Kids are the back of the plane.
Oh, you're home aloneing it, huh?
Yeah. So we'll have to go back and visit them or beckon them up to do all that. Anyways, I'll have all kinds of should I make it back? Let's just be honest. That's always a question. You never know. I don't want to assume anything, but should we make it?
You might love it so much you'll say I never need to go back.
Never need to go back here?
Yeah.
Weather-wise, I think I will. Highs are ranging from 68 to 74 degrees with scattered rain showers throughout the days that are there. Hey, also, we've got Mick and the Stones tickets. It's a cover band. It's not Mick and the Stones, but we have Mick and the Stones tickets for Thunder Valley to give away later today. We also have a couple of guests for you. As Mike Kimmerlingo, if you are on social media, you know who that is. He's the guy that makes all the fun videos that are very, very funny, that generally a lot of times have to do with sports.
60-second classics.
60-second classics. We'll bring him on and just talk about the process there. And if you don't know who he is, congratulations. He's a funny, funny dude. Casey Pratt will join us at 8, normally of ABC in the Bay Area, but he has joined the mayor of Oakland's communications team.
Wasn't expecting that news yesterday.
Was not expecting that at all. And let me just be really clear. She's in a little bit of a pickle right now. And I'm not trying to do an Oprah thing with him and put him on the spot, but he's a fine reporter. And that is certainly a career decision. So not the first time, by the way, CBS 13, former CBS 13 reporter Ben Sisenko for the longest time joined Mayor KJ's staff. A lot of people in TV or radio will make the switch to comms politically. So I get what he's doing. It's not unprecedented, but I'm also wondering about the timing as well. And we'll talk about the A's, of course, along with quite a few other things. We've got great news in the NBA. Camps open today, Niners at least, and more. All of you on the text line, all of you in the YouTube chat, sit back, relax. We'll take you all the way till 10 right here on Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Granger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
On 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
I just want to say, I've talked to all the other networks, but I ain't going nowhere other than TNT. But I have made the decision myself. No matter what happens, next year is going to be my last year on television. And I just want to say thank you to my NBA family. You guys have been great to me. My heart is full with joy and gratitude. But I'm going to pass the baton at the end of next year. I hope the NBA stays with TNT. But for me personally, I wanted you guys to hear from me because I'm not doing any more interviews. Don't y'all be calling me. Nobody calling me. I'm not talking about this again, but I want to tell my NBA and NBA TV and TNT family that I'm not going to another network, but I'm going to pass the baton to either Jamal Crawford or Vince Carter or you, Steve. But next year, I'm going to just retire after 25 years, and I just want to say thank you, and I wanted y'all to hear from me first.
Okay. So TNT has matched, we assume, Amazon's package deal with the NBA, which was TNT's right. And there will be basketball on TNT for the long-term future, which means Inside the NBA gets to stick around. Now the question is, does Charles Barkley stay the course that he is retiring at the end of the year? Which means that even though basketball will be on TNT, now the question is, can that show continue to go on without Charles Barkley? Of course it can. But, you know, it's not going to be the same. Well, duh, of course it's not going to be the same. But my question is, will it still be good? I don't know who's out there that can be as frank and on it. You have to be frank and straightforward to the point of almost offensive at times. You have to have a great sense of humor. You have to be absolutely able to poke fun at yourself. And you can see, for example, like Shaq has a lot of that, but you can also tell Shaq doesn't always like poking fun at himself. There's a big ego there with Shaq, and he gets kind of pissy sometimes about it. And oh, by the way, it helps if you had a good or phenomenal NBA career. Although with, Kenny, no offense to his career, he didn't have the same, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Let's just put it that way. So I'm trying to go through the list, like what retired or soon to be retired athlete. Draymond Green's under contract with them, and the thought was he would be the Barkley replacement. But after seeing him work, all biases aside, I've said before, I can't stand the guy on the floor, but I do enjoy his podcast. I do think he's got stuff to offer from the broadcasting world, but he doesn't have that sense of humor. He doesn't have that charisma.
And he has that ego.
That's exactly right.
The big thing would be like, oh, hey, Draymond, you only got those rings because of Clay and Steph. That's going to be F you.
Right. That's exactly right. And if you have him on the same day as Shaq, it's just a matter of time before the two of them go at it. Next thing you know, they're, I'll kick your butt. And it's just nobody cares about that. I don't know. I've really been racking my brain, and that might be kind of a fun subtopic. Like, who, you're not replacing Charles Barkley, but who would be the ideal person that somewhat fits those requirements? Ex-player, obviously. Humor, blunt, self-deprecating. I struggle, man. I really do. So either way, we get at least one more year of the show. So that's good news for us. But that whole thing was kind of a fiasco. More on that later. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2. My guess would be that I'm guessing here, doesn't show up to training camp. Not there, right? And tries to force the issue here. And then we see if the two sides can work out a deal or whether he wants to continue to be difficult with them. The interesting part here is John Lynch and Brandon Ayuk have the same agent too. So that's a little bit of an interesting dynamic here going on, right? Like John Lynch, the GM of the team, and Brandon Ayuk's agent is the same one.
Training camp opens today. Mike Shanahan, John Lynch. Was that Adam Schefter?
Kyle Shanahan.
Who did I say he was yesterday? George Kittle, or I said George Kittle?
Yeah, I said George Kittle.
I'm bad at that. Okay, here we go. The 49ers back at it again, trying to win a Super Bowl again. I saw an article yesterday. Someone had their wide receiver core ranked number 1 in the NFL. I don't have an issue with that, except it kind of stresses me out because that ain't lasting long. At least one would think. You got to think this is the swan song for Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel playing together on the Niners. One of them is most likely on their way out, though all signs point to Ayuk sticking around at least for the year. But you have that trade request kind of hanging over. We'll get a chance to see Ricky Pearsall, the number 1 pick. Brock Purdy now in his second full season. But also, there's some issues. Dre Greenlaw with the Achilles that he hurt in just the silliest way. Not silly, it just was dumb. Nobody's fault. It was just one of those things during the Super Bowl. And he's such a huge part of that defense. Eric Armstead gone. So anyway, but camp's open for most teams at this point, if not over the next couple days, which means the NFL is incredibly close to being back. And that is exciting for everybody because that is phenomenal content. And maybe Frank on the chat will feel better about our content if we talk NFL. Number 3.
Cut number 3.
A lot of post screens. James, late in the clock. LeBron James bodying inside. He scores. He's a man. Goodness, does he take over?
He did. LeBron James, 77-year-old LeBron James ain't screwing around. As it was his layup that lifted Team USA by a point over South Sudan. 8 points around some steals, some rebounds, and general brute force down the stretch. 92-88, Team USA beats Germany. 20.6 boards, 4 assists. And towards the end, he had a basket, followed by a steal, basket, rebound, free throws, and rebound in the middle of the fourth quarter while his teammates were getting into it. Opened the game with a couple of pretty badass dunks as well. And you got a 39-year-old putting the team on its shoulders, at least in the the exhibition part of this whole thing. They finished their pre-Olympic tour 5-0, but certainly with some close calls, some way too close calls, and they're going to have to kick that into gear when they get to Paris as well. So we'll talk a little bit about that Olympic run as well. When we come back, though, Niners camp opens today. Let's talk about what we're looking for and what we can expect right after this.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
It's a toss to McCaffrey, a cutback run 30, breaks 340. McCaffrey midfield. McCaffrey 40, 30, 20, and toasted all the way down to the 3-yard line. On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Ah, the sweet feelings of summer. The kiss of warm sun on your skin. The softly scented breeze blowing through the trees. Don't worry, you have Off Clean Feel, fragrance-free mosquito repellent that feels good on skin. So even mosquitoes can't ruin those sweet feelings of summer. Off Clean Feel. Prevention is the best protection from mosquitoes.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now, Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by McKee Brothers, Clemmy Rooter and Heat, and Dawson Oil Company.
The PGA club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
Go around training camp a little bit. As Niners training camp opens today. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. Here's John Harbaugh and his vision for Lamar Jackson.
It's a vision for Lamar Jackson, and it's a vision. It's something you see it like it's already happened. You can see it like it's already been done. The victory has already been won when you pour into a vision. And the vision that we have together is that Lamar Jackson is going to become and be known and be recognized as the greatest quarterback ever to play in the history of the National Football League. That's the vision, all right? It's going to happen by Lamar, his work ethic, and his brilliant talent, by all of us pouring into that effort together as a team, teamwork, and by the grace of God and God's goodwill. That's how it's going to happen. And I believe it like we've already seen.
Huh. That's kind of motivating, right? Does that work? You just visualize it? Believe? Can I do that with a Kings championship? Or perhaps the lotto? I guess you can't really control the lotto other than playing it. But good for John Harbaugh. He believes in his quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks, Brian Gutekunst, the GM of the Green Bay Packers, talked a little bit about Jordan Love's contract negotiations that are going on right now. Right now, I said.
We're very down the road as far as we know that he's our franchise quarterback, and we're ready to move forward. It's not like we're trying to make that decision. But at the same time, we want to put the best team around him we can. And we want to make sure that, there's certainly the structure of it so that we can do what we need to do for our football team moving forward, not only this year, but years to come is very, very important. Again, like I said, it's this is just part of it, not unexpected. And we'll work to get it done. And hopefully he won't miss too much time because it is, we got a lot of work to do. We think we have a very good football team, but we got to come together as a team. And he's a big part of that. So him being out there is important for us.
Yeah, Jordan Love, looking at stats right now, actually compares quite favorably through this point in his career with both Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. And if Jordan Love ends up having that anything close to that type of career, at some point we're going to have to, a few years from now, have the conversation of are the Green Bay Packers the San Antonio Spurs of the NFL in the sense that the Spurs went from Robinson to Duncan to Wembanyama, and the Packers went from Favre to Rodgers and now Jordan Love. I would argue this, though. If you are going to compare those, and by the way, we can go ahead and say, okay, well, if Favre and Rodgers compare with Robinson and Duncan, although I think the Spurs guys would get the edge. And jury's still out on Jordan Love. And to be fair, Victor Wembanyama, though he's well on his way. The Packers, though, far more impressive when you really think about it. How'd they get Brett Favre? They traded the Atlanta Falcons for him because he was riding the bench there. How'd they get Aaron Rodgers? The 49ers had the number one pick in the draft that year. They took Alex Smith. Aaron Rodgers fell all the way down the first round. They grab him. How'd they get Jordan Love? They draft Jordan Love in the second round, pissing off Aaron Rodgers when they did it. And he rides the bench for 3 years. That's making your own luck. Whereas the Spurs, no offense, but they got the number one pick in a drawing 3 years that happened to have 3 franchise-changing superstars in there. So, yeah, good for them. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, that's a whole storyline that's going to get fun here soon because we had the whole offseason of Aaron Rodgers as a Jet and then him carrying the flag and then him tearing his Achilles on the very first drive. He decides to celebrate his return in health by going to Egypt.
The thing that I think people don't understand is that when I was in the NFC North and playing for that team years ago, there used to be a real thing called minicamp where it was you had one of them usually. Sometimes it was right after the draft, but either way, it was 5 practices in 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 2 practices on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. Now it's not minicamp. They can arbitrarily put a tag on whatever week of OTAs they want. So this is the mini camp week, which makes it somehow more mandatory than the other weeks. But it was an OTA schedule. That's how it's, how words can be a little deceiving from time to time. You can make a story out of the fact that I missed a mini camp when it was really 2 OTA days.
Right. Interesting.
That came to the first 10.
I'm almost always on the side of the athlete for stuff. And I've defended Aaron Rodgers on some things before because I know he's really he's a very polarizing dude. I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but we're talking sports. I guess here's my pushback for that. Yeah, you missed a couple of OTAs. Oh, by the way, you're Aaron Rodgers. Like, you could miss the OTAs and you could miss training camp and just do a little bit of cardio and probably throw 10 passes in preseason, and you're going to be fine and most likely an MVP candidate. You're Aaron Rodgers. Like, you earned it. You deserve it. I guess my pushback would be this. Dude, you made a ton of money last year to play one series, not even one series. You're coming back from injury. You've had the entire offseason to go to Egypt. Football hasn't even happened since the beginning of February. March, April, May, June, July. That's 5 months and like 2 or 3 weeks. And you weren't playing in February anyways. I'm talking about the Super Bowl, where in effect, the Jets have been done and not playing football for almost 7 months. And it's not about, is Aaron Rodgers going to be ready? It's not even about, is Aaron Rodgers going to have all the kinks out because he's played one series of competitive football in about 2 years. It's, hey, dude, you have a lot of young receivers on that team. I don't know, man. Maybe with Father Time chasing you down, you're coming off a massive injury. You're really trying to make something happen with New York. Maybe those OTAs are kind of important. Maybe you should be getting on the, you see these, look, say what you want about Tom Brady, but how many times did you see the videos, whether they were manufactured or not, of him in the offseason? I've got these guys over to the high school by my house, and they just flew over to my pad. And we're doing a couple days of bonding and running routes and stuff on our own, outside of OTAs, outside of camp. You saw that with Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. You saw that with Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne. And I'm not like rah guy, like, oh, you gotta want it. But in this case, considering the context, I mean, it's whatever.
I don't think football's a priority for him.
I agree with you,
which is fine.
Yeah,
but, like, at the same time, you can't be mad at everybody that.
I don't think it's a priority for him. Well, okay, I do think it's a priority for him. I think it's not the priority for him.
Yes.
And that's kind of sad to me because, and here's why. I love it when athletes have Marvin Bagley should be on the court, not making rap albums, that kind of garbage. I love it when athletes have lives, and I think they should. I think it's good for them. I think it's good for them on the court or the field or the pitch or whatever. I think it's good. Here's my thing with Aaron Rodgers, though. Like, football should be the priority right now because you are on borrowed time. Like, it's coming to an end. You're going to have the next 40, 50 years of your life with no football.
Is it weird that I think he's still playing football because he wants to go on McAfee Weekly and people still take him, like, seriously?
I wonder what Aaron's going to do post-playing career. That's going to be an interesting one. It really is going to be interesting. I don't think he ain't fading into the sunset.
I think he's going to have like a Barstool podcast or
I could see
something
that.
to that effect.
What about going into the booth?
I can't see that.
I think he'd be great.
I think he wants to give his opinions on things that aren't football.
I could see him doing like some sort of nationally syndicated radio show where you have like pro broadcaster and Aaron Rodgers opining on whatever. Put it on right after what's the one with Clay Travis and other dude, Clay and Buck. I could 100% see that. You're right about the podcast. Maybe he tries to go the Joe Rogan route, and it'll do really well at first. You wonder if after it wears off that it's Aaron Rodgers. Like you said, he's relevant right now. He's playing. Aaron's an enigma, man. He is really an enigma. There's a lot of things I really like about Aaron Rodgers. There's some things I really like about Aaron Rodgers. And I don't have a problem with him. Look, you speak your mind, do your thing. But then there's also some stuff where you just, and some of the stuff you hear too about the family and the whole thing, and just kind of a lot of red flags with the dude. Either way, if I'm a Jets, I just put myself if I'm a Jets fan, I'm like, bro, Egypt will be there next year. Like, pyramids aren't going anywhere, dog. You missed like the whole season last
But July is the perfect time to go to the desert.
I love Egypt in July, dude. All right. Good morning, MC. We can officially start the show now. I see Derek and Chewy and Mark and Chris and everybody else in the chat. YouTube, just search Sacktown Sports and make sure you subscribe and like and listen. 1-800-920-1140 is the phone number. 916-339-1140 is the text line. We'll take a break when we come back. Who's got the best fights in sports? Safe or out next?
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
Hey, it's me, your liver. You know, the organ that helps you recover every weekend after pizza, donuts, and all those drinks. When you have a headache, you take an aspirin. You have a stomach ache, you pop an acid. But where's the love for your best buddy, the liver? The least that you could do to help me stay healthy is take Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver tablets contain high-quality, all-natural ingredients like milk thistle, globe artichoke, and turmeric extracts, which are proven to keep me healthy and you feeling your best. Active Liver provides an easy daily detox and helps protect me all year long. So let me make you an offer you can't refuse. You take care of me with Active Liver, and I keep taking care of you. Capiche?
See for yourself why Active Liver is Scandinavia's #1 liver health supplement. You can find Active Liver at CVS and online at Amazon, Target.com, or directly from NewNordicUSA.com. Again, find it in stores at CVS or online at Amazon, Target.com, or NewNordicUSA.com.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture with daily use.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper here to remind you that the famous Bay Area pizza company Amici's East Coast Pizzeria has just opened its first location in Sacramento, offering takeout and delivery to the greater Sacramento area. Visit Amici's.com and click on the Sacramento banner for their menu and to order. And as a special deal all this week, enter promo code SAC20 at checkout to receive 20% off your entire order. So when you want to enjoy great pizza with family and friends this week, use promo code SAC20 at Amici's.com and Amici's delivers.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach, kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot AT2 with improved all-terrain traction, and the Legacy All-Season Plus that keeps you on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our ProTech Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carryouts, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
We'll wrap up the NBA TV deals in the next segment, as TNT will return next season and beyond. In the meantime, safe or out? Christopher Laud, question un.
Safer out. Baseball has the best fights of the big three sports.
Let's be honest. All sports fights are dumb. I mean, obviously boxing, MMA, we're not counting that. Hockey's probably the best, right?
Because they're just allowed to do it.
Because they're allowed to do it. And the thing I love about hockey, again, I'm not a hockey guy, but I respect the hell out of hockey. Like, what I love about it is, like, the two dudes go at it. The refs just kind of stand back. There's only really one move you try to just punch the guy. Each guy's holding the other guy's jersey. You're trying to punch dude in the side of the head who's wearing a helmet. So you got to miss the helmet. And then sometimes they do the move where they pull the jersey over them and then they can't move their arms, which I love. And then eventually they slow down or one guy goes kind of down and then that's it. And then you go to the penalty box and everything's cool. And there's never like, oh, your guy got owned, man. Like, they get it out. Maybe life would be better like that. I don't advocate violence, but what if, like, people are having, like, an argument or something? Just go at it, let the ref stand back, and then you just shake hands, you get 2 minutes, and you're done. But those are, like, sanctioned fights. Baseball fight, and also it's like, what's the best? What do we mean by best fights? And what I mean by that is the thing that's actually closest to a fight. Like, NBA probably has the worst ones. Every once in a while you get a good one, but for the most part, it's push, then you back up while you're yelling, and not a lot of Barkley, Kareem style stuff like you had back in the day. Football is also dumb because they're wearing helmets, dude. There's nothing dumber than punching a guy in the helmet.
But also on top of that, you're legally allowed to light somebody up.
Yes, you are. There's no assault charges unless you're Marty McSorley and you do something crazy. But yeah, it's like a loophole legally where, like, you're allowed to beat the hell out of each other. I mean, like boxing, it's like sanctioned assault. Love it, and we pay to watch. I would say baseball because there are plenty of baseball fights. I would even say the majority. Okay, you hit the guy, he rushes the mound. As soon as he gets there, the whole team gets there, and everybody just kind of holds.
The relief pitchers are like 45 seconds late.
That's my favorite part about baseball fights is that you have the relievers all in the bullpen, generally in the outfield, and like maybe it's not the ones like when the batter rushes the mound, everybody shows up. My favorite's the one where there's just a little yapping back and forth, and like they're just yapping and they're yapping and they're yapping, and then like you said, like 45 seconds later, like the relievers are like, oh, we gotta go. Fine, we gotta kind of lazily jog into the infield just to show that we're here, and then it's like. What's the one with the sharks where they're all West Side Story?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like everybody's got their uniforms on.
You ever see Norm Macdonald's West Side Story?
No. Oh, but I need to.
Do yourself a favor.
You've already sold me. Maybe they could do that. Like they should do it like Beat It style, except not with knives. If you ever seen the video from Michael Jackson's Beat It, you tie like their off wrists together, and then in the Beat It video they had knives and they were trying to stab each other. We don't want anybody to get stabbed, but maybe it's like a hybrid hockey thing where they just can punch each other until it's done. Then you cut them on, you cut the wristbands off, and you're good to go. But in general, sports fights not the best. Number 2, please.
The Mariners and Astros are tied atop the AL West. Safer out. It will be like this for the rest of the year.
I think so, man. I think that's going to be. I think the Yankees Orioles is going to be a blast. We've been saying that all year, but now that Houston has kind of recovered, and it really looked like they were just going to kind of overtake the Mariners and create some room. But the Mariners, I mean, look, both of them aren't doing the greatest right now, but the Mariners have stood tough, and on top of that, don't sleep on the defending world champion Texas Rangers, who are 4 games back of both of them. They're tied right now, as you said, in the AL West. And the Yankees, 1.5 behind the Orioles. That's just going to go back and forth. Meanwhile, the Red Sox were on a hell of a run, and now they've lost 4 in a row coming out of the break. with Jaron Duran and friends. They need to turn it around. But it's nice to see some of these races consolidate in baseball and to see if we can have some interesting things down the stretch. Number 3, please.
The Phillies and Dodgers each have 8.5 game leads in their divisions. Safer out. The Braves are a better bet to catch Philly than the Padres are to catch the Dodgers.
Well, to be clear, I don't think either is going to catch either. And I don't think the Padres will catch it's almost a process of elimination. I don't think the Padres are going to catch the Dodgers because I think the Dodgers are that damn good. Not that I don't think the Phillies are good. They are. But the Braves are also a very good team. I think the problem there is you're 8.5 out on July 23rd, and they've got some real injury problems going on right now. They just got Whit Merrifield, which will help them because that dude can pretty much fill in everywhere. But you lost Ozzie Albies for 2 months, and he is part of the heart and soul of that club and just does a lot of different things. His numbers don't necessarily pop out crazy on you. But he's a big part of that club, and missing him for 2 months is going to hurt. I don't think either is going to get caught, to be honest. I don't think either is going to get caught, but it is unfortunate when injuries become the issue. All right, I wanted to play this in the last segment, didn't have time. This is an oldie but a goodie. Yesterday was Alex Trebek's heavenly birthday, and one of the, if not the best game show host of all time, and this is one of those times where I wish I was on Jeopardy with the group of folks that were on here, and you can sense the frustration from Alex.
Football 200. Your choice. Do or don't name this play in which the quarterback runs the ball and can choose to pitch it to another back.
Chris?
The option. What is the option?
It's an option play.
Thank you.
Ryan?
Football 400.
I can tell you guys are big football fans. Yeah. Tom Landry perfected the shotgun formation with this team.
Chris?
With the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys?
I love it when the audience starts openly mocking them.
Do you think we should go to commercial? Ryan?
Take it on to 600.
Okay, by signaling for one of these, a returner can reel in a kick without fear of getting tackled.
What is a fair catch?
Yes.
Fair catch. 2 clues left, Ryan.
800.
These penalties are simultaneous violations by the offense and defense that cancel each other out.
Offsetting?
And they are called offsetting penalties.
Yeah, you're
Let's look at the $1,000 clue just for the fun of it. Jimmy?
As Minneapolis's U.S. Bank Stadium prepares to host Super Bowl 52, I'm looking at the Ring of Honor with names from this defensive line that took the Vikings to 4 Super Bowls.
If you guys ring in and get this one, I will die. Who are the purple people eaters? We're going to take a break.
The best Alex Trebek is salty, fun Alex Trebek. And I will never, ever, ever tire of playing this clip.
Susan Cole is from Bowie, Maryland, and her favorite type of music is something I've never heard of, but it doesn't sound like fun.
I think it's very fun. It's called nerdcore hip hop. It's
Nerdcore
hip hop. Yes. It's people who identify as nerdy, rapping about the things they love: video games, science fiction, having a hard time meeting romantic partners. You know, it's really catchy and fun.
Losers, in other words.
Well.
I didn't see it coming when I first saw it. I did not see it coming. Alex.
Of all people, of all shows.
Of all people. And you know, off air, Alex had to have just the roughest sense of humor.
He's just got this martini in the back of his office, just like, see those people out there?
Have you ever seen Alex Trebek outtakes for commercials? There's one in particular where he's spitting some salty words. You've never seen it? Oh, I'll give this to you during the break. He is, I don't know if he's the greatest talk show host of all, or a game show host of all time, but he's
He's up there.
He's on the Mount Rushmore.
I would say Bob Barker.
Barker, another guy who absolutely, we finally got to really see it in Happy Gilmore, but absolutely had a fun sense of humor.
When like when the contestant wouldn't know the rules. Now, calm down. Just wait.
Bob would open, much like, and you wonder. I like to think that Alex Trebek and Bob Barker were actually, they were. I'd like to think that they were friends. And like hung out with each other. Here we go. Hold on. Bob Barker is, let me see what this is. This just says, because the other clip's 5 minutes. This is 10 seconds. It says, Bob Barker is grumpy.
I'm not in a particularly good mood today, so I don't choose to explain the game to you. Go on and play it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right, you don't win. Get off the stage.
We need to clip up. I'm not in a particularly good mood today. I would say Barker, Trebek, Sajak.
Yeah.
And then honestly, like he doesn't jump out like these other guys. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I apologize if I am, but I think he got really weird on social media for a while. But you have to mention Chuck Woolery. Am I right about Chuck Woolery? Did he get kind of?
I think
was that
so.
him?
Yes.
But just whatever. From a game show, he was just like, I don't know, shouts to Wink Martindale.
The bad thing is when I think of Chuck Woolery, I don't even really remember him because he was a little bit before my time. But I think of the movie Class Act when they're at the Wax Museum and it's Alex Trebek and he goes, "Look, it's Chuck Woolery."
That's how you think of Chuck.
That's how I think of Chuck Woolery.
Yeah. Shouts to Wink Martindale. The guy Richard Dawson for the older crowd. I was a little too young for that, but Richard Dawson, Family Feud, would just openly kiss guests on the lips. Like if you go back and look, there's a montage of Richard Dawson kissing contestants.
And he is just soused.
Just soused, wearing these giant collared plaid suits.
You can smell him through the TV.
You can absolutely. I think he was the late Craig Sager's muse for a lot of his outfits that he went on to wear on TNT. And just, "Here, Sally, welcome in. Sally Hirschfeld from Golden, Colorado." And it wasn't like a peck, dude. It was one of them like soft-lipped kisses. Not like, I don't think Richard Dawson was doing tongue or anything, but it was definitely a mushy-lipped kiss.
Tender.
Yeah, tender. Thank you. We'll take a break, much like you, Chris. Tender and loving. When we come back, TNT returns to the NBA. We'll wrap up the TV deals and more next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Summer is finally here, and so are all the best deals on DeWalt Power Tools at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. Drills, impacts, circular saws, you name it, we have it for the best price in town, guaranteed. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned tradesman, we've got all the DeWalt products you need to crush your next project. So come on down to Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet today on Power and Road for better tools and better prices. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 73124.
Made a great deal at Maida.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Quick Quack Car Wash takes the drama out of keeping your car clean.
Let's wash the car. Don't spray the hose inside the car.
Our convenient wash packages make it easy to get your car soaked, scrubbed, and on your way. Protect your car from sun, rain, and pollen with a ceramic duct wash and get our in-wash light show and an unbeatable clean.
Oh, the kids filled the gas tank with water.
Of course they did. Quick Quack Car Wash. Come in today and get 25% off any wash.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
What's behind number 3, please?
Dishwasher.
Dishwasher. Oh, mine goes. It's really bad. Let's see.
Does it wash the dishes?
Yeah, but it makes a lot of noise when it's doing it. You know, it really does.
So did my ex-wife. Shut up. I get myself into enough trouble without you jumping on me, too. Barbara.
Alex Trebek, ladies and gentlemen. That was in 1988. So, you know. Welcome back. Now I'm getting all nostalgic. Not for the times when open misogyny was okay. But you were a little too young, weren't you, Chris, for Johnny Carson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's unfortunate, man. I get down rabbit holes sometimes. And Johnny Carson is easily a top 3 rabbit hole I go down. And you want to talk, we're talking game show hosts, but talk show hosts. Honestly, because this will glide right into this topic. It's a little bit like how people talk about Ernie Johnson. And by the way, Johnny Carson was not the human Ernie Johnson is. It's not comparable. Johnny Carson had, if you know about Johnny Carson, Johnny had quite the issues off air throughout his most, if not his entire career. I'm talking simply about the job and what we would see. Johnny Carson, I I believe is the greatest talk show host of all time. It's not close to me. There's no second. I love Letterman. I loved Arsenio. I think Kimmel and Fallon and they Jon Stewart, they all do great jobs. There's a lot.
I was a Conan guy.
Conan to me is, again, my generation. He's Mount Rushmore, like for sure. Especially when you consider, I think he was 28, 29. He was an unknown writer for SNL, and he replaced David Letterman, and did really, really well. And I think most importantly, really blazed a lot of trails for a lot of just some of the stuff they did was just like, what I think they had. What did he have? He had like a lever that he'd pull for like a Star Wars highlight.
No, that was the what do we talk about all the time? That was Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yes, thank you. Sorry.
And that's where you get the famous Walker, Texas Ranger clip.
Yeah. Walker told me. But Conan was fantastic. Conan on his, it would probably go Carson, Letterman, Conan. I mean, I have a soft spot for Arsenio, but I have a soft spot for Arsenio in part because you want to talk about blazing trails. When Arsenio, like you couldn't challenge Johnny Carson. They tried. You couldn't. Honestly, there was a nice 20, 30-year stretch where trying to put a talk show on opposite Johnny Carson was literally the television equivalent of trying to compete with the NFL. XFL, World League of American Football, it did not matter. You could take any one of these football leagues and apply them towards a talk show host, whether it was Joan Rivers, Chevy Chase, Magic Johnson. Arsenio was the first guy to really make a dent in the Tonight Show because it was cool. It was never as popular, but it was, you had, old, Johnny Carson doing his thing. And then Arsenio would come out with the dog pound and the hoo and the, just Eddie Murphy. And speaking of Magic Johnson and God, you have all the cool guests, Mike Tyson. But Johnny was like the Ernie Johnson of talk show because he was just so, I'm going to go down a rabbit hole here, but he never made it about himself. One of Johnny Carson's funniest lines was repeatedly was not a line at all. He would be doing his monologue and a joke would bomb, and he'd tap the mic that was above him, or he'd just stare at the crowd angrily and let the pregnant pause happen. He was very good at utilizing the science of laying it out. Also, the king of the one-liners. There's a clip I won't repeat, but if you Google Johnny Carson, Ed Asner, and axe throwing, it's one of the greatest one-liners in the history of television.
I do know that one.
You do have that one. Johnny was just phenomenal at making the guest the star, and there's no better clip of that. Again, if you go to YouTube, please wait till the end of the show or a break. But if you were to go Johnny Carson, Doc Severinsen, who, by the way, I think Doc is still alive. Doc was his longtime band leader. And Ed was out. So Ed McMahon was out. Doc was filling in. And if you go to YouTube and put in Johnny Carson, Doc Severinsen, and Thanksgiving, it is quite frankly, perhaps the funniest 3 minutes I've ever seen on a talk show where Doc was just on fire. It was deprecating to Johnny a little bit, the star of the show, and Johnny just lit it up, went with it, gave Doc the reins, trusted him. There was an interview yesterday I actually sent to a radio friend of ours. Some of you may have seen it. And again, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole. I'm literally talking about pure interviewing, pure broadcasting rules. Did you happen to see a clip of Elon Musk being interviewed yesterday? It made the rounds. You know what I'm talking about?
I did.
Okay. Please, let's not go down the rabbit hole of what Elon was saying. That's not what I'm talking about. I don't know who the guy was that interviewed him, but you had a subject who is a huge personality in the world, a massive, a titan of personality, and he was hell-bent on getting a point out. He was trying to talk about something in a very serious manner, and the interviewer couldn't handle pregnant pauses. And if you're familiar with, which anybody is who's paid half attention to a guy like Elon Musk, he's not the most straightforward speaker. There's a lot of pauses. There's a little bit of stuttering. There's mannerisms, if you watch the guy for 5 minutes, that you have to familiarize yourself with if you're going to talk to him. And every time Musk would pause just to kind of gather his thoughts, the guy had to fill in the blanks with his own whatever. And then there was a couple times he tried to switch the subject instead of just, and it's what every interviewer, by the way, myself included, I'm terrible at this. Sometimes just shut up, let the pause happen. Worst case scenario, the subject's going to say like, yeah, that's all I have to say or whatever. But the amount of extra content you can get out of somebody you're interviewing simply by being quiet and letting them speak is when some of the best things have been said, because the person being interviewed hates the silence more than you do, subconsciously feels like they need to expand their answer. And that's a lot of times when they say the thing that makes the rounds, not that they needed help there. It was one of the worst examples of interviewing I've seen in a long, long time. Johnny was perfect at that. Ernie Johnson is perfect at that. Ernie is the Johnny Carson of sports shows in the sense that he will prop up. He knows that his job is to make Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith, and most importantly, Charles Barkley, the stars of the show. Nobody's there to see Ernie, but everybody loves to see Ernie, and he is the ultimate point guard, giving out assists. We will now see that back as TNT has matched what we assume is, we'll find out in a couple days probably, Amazon's offer, which I believe is the fourth place package, if you will, $1 billion plus per season. And for basketball fans and really for sports fans in general, it's great because there was worry that Inside the NBA would be going away. Warner Brothers just completely goofed this whole thing around. Their CEO just kept sticking his foot in his mouth.
Has done an absolutely terrible job.
He's done a horrible job all the way around. We had, I forget who we had, who was the guy you booked for us from Forbes, I think. I don't know if you remember. We were talking TV deals a while back, or maybe it was the Wall Street Journal. It was one of them. And, we were going through the stock price since this guy took over, like in all aspects. They've all but admitted they have admitted the Warner Brothers Discovery merger was completely botched. This TNT thing was completely botched. And
they're making movies just to cut them.
That's exactly correct, and wasting God knows how much money. And even their statement when they matched was so passive aggressive. We're proud of how we've delivered for basketball fans by providing the best in-class coverage throughout our 4-decade partnership with the NBA. In an effort to continue our long-standing partnership during both exclusive and non-exclusive negotiation periods, we acted in good faith to present strong bids that were fair to both parties. Regrettably, the league notified us of its intention to accept other offers for the games in our current rights package, leaving us to proceed under the matching rights provision, which is an integral part of our current agreement and the rights we have paid under it. We look forward to the NBA honoring their side of the deal. How about who cares if that's how you feel? How about we're so happy to be back? The NBA is a huge part of us and blah, blah, and we've enjoyed the partnership. And thanks to Adam Silver and Fred Smith and all the other people that you don't know that negotiated this. And let's go. And to me, that stinks of the CEO having a hand in that statement because the CEO is playing CYA. Shockingly. Now the big question is Charles Barkley going to stay on course to retire? Or maybe we can get another year or so out of him. We'll take a quick break here. Just 1 minute. When we come back, are the Suns being stupid with Kevin Durant? More TNT, and we have a Summer League champion. Let's celebrate it. 3 from Madness next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I can't tell you how much I love my new SUV. It is truly amazing, and I got special news just for you. Right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can receive your first month's payment up to $1,500 on them on select new 2024 GLE vehicles. Or how about the all-new E-Class right now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton? They have over 80 pre-owned vehicles in stock, including off-brand trucks, SUVs, and sedans. And they have rates starting at 1.99% APR on select certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. And Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a Vans Fleet Center with rates starting at 4.9% APR plus customer bonus cash incentives on approved credit. Head on over to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, just off I-5, or online at mbfstockton.com.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, Dallas makes another move to shore up their Western Conference champion team. Team USA wraps up their, I guess you call it exhibition season ahead of Paris. And we've got a minor difference between what the Dream Team in 92 was doing and what this team is doing. We'll let you know what we're talking about there. In the meantime, 3 for Madness. Question 1.
Kevin Durant was held out of Team USA exhibitions with a calf strain. At his age, should the Suns step in here?
Kevin Durant has dealt with calf strains quite a bit throughout his career. And it was a calf strain that it was directly before, I don't know if it led to it, but he had that directly before he popped his Achilles when he did. Kevin Durant is one of the greatest players to ever play basketball. He's no doubt shoe-in, first ballot Hall of Famer. You can make an argument as the greatest pure scorer, not points leader, not the greatest pure scorer, the most unstoppable scorer of all time. Here's the issue with Kevin Durant. Number 1, he's going to be 36 in September, right when the season starts, September 29th. Secondly, last year, Kevin Durant played 75 games. The year before, he played 8. The year before that, he played 39, 55, 35. You have to go back to 2018 with Golden State, his final year there, where he played 78. He's had years of 66, 27, 62, and 68 games played in addition. He is not the most durable player in the world, though he did only miss 7 games last year. And in today's day and age of rest, that's huge. If the guy's calf is keeping him out of the entire 5-game Olympic preseason, look, he knows his body. The trainers know his body. He's probably, and knock on wood, hopefully going to be perfectly fine. But if I'm the Phoenix Suns, much like it was with the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard, and me not understanding why they were mad that Team USA basically dismissed Kawhi Leonard because of injury, concerns. At least in Kawhi Leonard's defense, he does not have a gold medal. And he may not be the same guy in 4 years. He's getting up there too. Kevin Durant has 3 gold medals. And I understand wanting 4, but you have 3 gold medals, dude. You have 3 Olympic gold medals. 4 if you count the World Cup in Turkey in 2010. This ain't making or breaking his legacy. And if you're putting mileage on him, and this whole Olympic thing, and then he's got to turn around, you have to have Kevin Durant playing 70-plus games next year with the Suns if you have any chance, and they are cap-locked more than any other team in the NBA. But the problem is that I guarantee you Suns coaches, ownership, whoever probably feel exactly the same thing I'm saying. Nobody's going to stand up to Kevin Durant and say that. But you ain't getting paid to play the Olympics. You're getting paid to play for the Suns. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
With TNT continuing their TV deal, could Charles Barkley change his mind?
I think he could. I don't know that he will, and I'm just pulling this out of my butt as usual, but I got to imagine there had to be conversations between TNT and Charles Barkley before they matched this bid. And I'm not saying that they wouldn't have matched the bid had Charles stuck to retiring, but Charles is such a massive part of their coverage. And he is the key, the cog, along with Ernie Johnson. Apologies to Kenny and Shaq, but let's be honest. It's Ernie and it's Charles. Those are the two most irreplaceable guys. And I put Kenny third, but still, top two. And you can argue with yourself as to whether it's Charles or Ernie that's more replaceable or least replaceable. I got to think when making a $1.8 million a year bid, when you're committing, what is it, an 11-year deal? So when you're committing upwards of $20 billion to something, you might have a conversation with the superstar that's saying he's going to retire in a year. And the fact that they matched the bid leads me to think we might get a little bit more time out of Charles. Because what are people going to rip him for going back and saying, I've decided to come back? Maybe it was part of Charles's negotiation ploy. I know that's probably giving him too much credit, but what else are you going to do? You still have time to play golf. You're working 6 months out of the year, 7 months out of the year. You're making a ton of money. You get to hang out and laugh all day long. Like, what are we doing, Chuck?
My pushback would be, with the terrible decisions that Warner has already made, they might come out with something and say the TNT and the NBA on TNT has been so much bigger than Charles Barkley. And we know that our viewers come to watch blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
blah, blah.
God. It sucks because that is definitely in play.
Yeah. And like, I could almost see them saying like, hey, we are looking into doing this, but just to let you know, we're spending so much on this package, we might not be able to afford you, Chuck, to where he came out and just said like, last year's my last year. I don't want to deal with these people.
I mean, he is literally, he's as much a part of that entertainment package as the actual NBA itself is.
We were all talking about like, could we just move them to another network?
Literally go to another network.
I don't think you could say that about any other.
Nope. It's the greatest in-studio sports show of all time. It really is. And I do remember NFL Today and every other show since. Inside the NBA is the best. It's the best. I would say NFL Today was more in the public consciousness, and you had to be around back then. I was a youngster, but it was more in the public consciousness because of the controversies. But this is more in the social media world's radar than the NFL Today ever was. Of course, there wasn't social media back then, so that helps, but you get my point. Maybe you don't. We always talk about owners of teams coming in and usually just stepping on a rake nonstop for the first few years because rich people have huge egos and are used to being surrounded by people on their payroll that make sure to let them know that all their jokes are funny, all their ideas are fantastic, and creative and have never been done before. And you see that all over the place with rich people. When I say rich people, I mean like guys like team owners type of thing. It's the same thing with CEOs. This guy for Warner Brothers has been a CEO and has been making hundreds of millions of dollars every year for so long that he believes he's on an all-time heater, that he's bigger than the game, that he's smart as hell, and nobody's going to tell him otherwise. And somebody needs to step in and be like, dude, you need to shut your mouth. You need to quit talking immediately because you're costing us a lot of money and you're costing our stock a lot of money. There's just unfortunately nobody there to do that. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
The Heat edged the Grizz in OT on the win to go on to win the Vegas Summer League. Can you name one person on the Heat's team?
I can't. I wrote the question because I couldn't name it, and I wanted to do this live.
I can name one.
All right, let me see here. Can you name one? Now, is this going to be one that, let's be clear here, is this going to be one that played any minutes, let's say, yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I would assume so.
Let me see here. Summer League scores. Grizzlies, Heat. Here's the box score. All right, go ahead.
Jaime Jaquez.
Jaime Jaquez Jr., Miami Heat. Did not play coach's decision. So that's not to say that I don't recognize any of the names. Scottie Pippen Jr. started for the Grizzlies and had 29 points. Jake LaRavia had 32. Gigi Jackson, Kings fans will remember those two from last year, had 28 from Memphis. But I'm looking at the champion Heat Ware, Larson, Williams, Stevens, Christopher. That's your starting five. Now, I'm sure I know one of those. What is my point? My point is, with the Kings not having Devin Carter in there, other than, watching Keon Ellis and a couple of other things Kings related, really the thing I was probably looking for the most in Summer League was watching Zach Edey play, just because he's such a conundrum. And I don't really remember hearing much from him after that first game that he played well. I know that they held him out yesterday. And I know he's been dealing with, I think it's like ankle issues or something, which, by the way, when you have a 7'4", 300-pound dude and the guy's having any lower leg issue, that's never a great sign. He was shut down for the remainder of Summer League after appearing in just 2 games due to ankle sprains. Now, it may very well be nothing, but when you have lower leg issues with big men, that is a thing. By the way, as we go to break, speaking of, can you help me out here, because I've been a little busy to listen nonstop? What is this Sabonis DeMarcus Cousins thing that's appearing on all our shows and social media?
I believe it just started on social media.
Is it just like for fun?
Yeah.
There wasn't anything that happened?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a free segment if we got into it, but there's no win there. I could literally argue both sides. I really could. I could prosecute. I could feel very confident at debate camp and prosecuting both sides.
Your Honor, my client has clearly never seen Mr. DeMarcus Cousins play.
We'll take a break. When we come back, very quick break here. Team USA beats Germany. What's going on with Tyrese Halliburton, by the way? And what the Dream Team dealt with versus what this team this year in 2024 is dealing with is interesting. It's very interesting. We'll fill you in on that. Also, Kevin Durant hurting, which we just talked about. And honestly, if I am that Olympic team, if I'm Kevin Durant, if I'm his handlers, I'm hearing what the trainers say with the Olympic team, Team USA. I understand that. But I'm also going to honor my club by getting a second opinion somewhere on that injury. A lot like how you should honor your club by getting a second opinion on your HVAC system when it comes to American Energy Heating and Air. Now, that doesn't mean I'm saying, hey, if American Energy Heating and Air comes out and gives you an offer, get a second opinion. But you know what? Go ahead. They're not afraid to welcome second opinions because they're not going to get matched. What I'm saying is, what I've been saying for the better part of the last month is, if you've got an issue with your air conditioning or heating, but let's be honest, we're not using that right now, whether it's a minor sort of issue or you need a replacement, get whatever bid you got, but call my friends in American Energy and get a second opinion. Get a second bid. They've been serving Sacramento in the greater area since 1981. They have an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. All of that for reasons. Go on Yelp. Go on Google. Look at people's reviews. Look at the price. Look at their conversations about pricing, how they're dealt with. These are good people. They love their work, and they love you, the client. So just get a second opinion. Worst case scenario, you get the second opinion. It's matched or higher, and hey, it's actually the best case scenario because you know you're getting a good deal because you don't know what the hell an HVAC system's supposed to cost, just like I don't. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable. What's the difference between 92 and 2024 when it comes to these basketball teams for Team USA? And Dallas makes a minor move as well. We'll do it again next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
18 number ones.
What was I thinking? I won't
Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now, Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by McKee Brothers, Clemmy Reuter and Inc. and Dawson Oil Company.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message data rates may apply.
Taking Nugenix Total T makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas, right? Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yes.
Text radio to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
I'm in the middle of a very, very careful, very dangerous dance right now with my wife through text messaging. As today's getaway day for us. She texted me earlier and said, and she asked me this yesterday as well, hey, what time are you planning on leaving tomorrow? Is it a polka? I'm fine with that. Because I got to watch my step here, because here's the strategy. My response to her is, as you know, after I get home from work, maybe I might take a quick cat nap, I don't know, but shortly after I get home from work. And what my wife, and this is what's happened for 17 years of marriage, what my wife is trying to do is pin me down on a time.
On a time.
Yeah. So that she can stress out about the time as we get closer to it. And what I do is I refuse to be pinned down and I keep it broad. So that way, if something's going on, hey, don't worry. We can, and the whole point of us going down the night before our flight to San Francisco is that, hey, I'd rather leave, early afternoon. But if we leave a little bit later, it's not like we're trying to make the flight. We are planning specifically, but she does not like open-ended scheduling. And it drives her absolutely crazy. But the problem is when I provide her with a specific itinerary for something, then it's once that time hits, if we're not gone, she's freaking out, yelling at the kids, doing the whole thing. It's like, bro, it's okay for us to just relax and we leave when we're ready, because I know that within 20 minutes of us leaving, somebody in our family, our daughter, is going to freak out that they left something, even though I've been telling them for 2 weeks to bring your chargers, comfortable shoes, something comfortable to wear on the plane. My daughter almost collapsed yesterday when I told her we're going to be gone for 2 weeks. And I said, pack for a week. We're going to do laundry over there. And we're also going to be bringing stuff back. And having 4 giant bags doesn't work in every mode of transportation. Pack for 1 week. Daddy, we're going to be gone for 2 weeks. I'm aware of that. Pack for a week. I don't want people seeing me wear the same clothes twice. And I paused because I wanted to stop from just laying it out as to how just stupid that sounds. But said, look, we're not going to be in the same place for anything longer than a week. You don't have to worry about it. No, Daddy, I mean in pictures.
A good point right there.
She tried to pack 3 jackets.
I mean, that's why you travel, so you can have the pictures.
It's 100% why you travel, because you don't want to be in the middle of everything. You don't want to be in the moment enjoying your family the year your one child is a senior in high school and soon to be off to college, and the family begins to break apart, and pretty soon they're rolling their eyes at your phone calls because they're busy with their own family, and Cats in the Cradle starts playing in the background and all the nightmares that are chasing me down about this. No, I want to hold hands with my family in some meadow on top of an Alp mountain while music is playing and there's goats and stuff and we're singing the sound of music. The hills are alive with the sound of Griswold. Maybe not a polka, but I'd go for it. And I'm considering grabbing the phones for the trip and basically allowing them to be used as cameras. But I also don't want to be the old guy that doesn't let the kids, do the thing or whatever. But stay in the moment, man.
I've been big on that. The only bad thing is, like, I do get people like, you have any pictures? No, not really.
And I'm all for that. Of course you want to take. I'm going to take pictures and video. Of course I will. I actually think that's kind of in the moment. Like, I don't understand people at concerts that are like filming. Like, is anybody going to care about your out of focus, crappy video of, whoever the hell singing? No one's watching that, dude, including you are not going to watch it.
I had a person hold an iPad in front of me for an entire Foster the People concert.
Oh my God, are you serious? It's like, it drives me absolutely crazy. And not as an old head, like, look, dude, I'm on social media. I do all the stuff. I'm saying the amount of people you see at ball games, concerts, and they're like documenting it. It's like, bro, put your phone in your pocket and be there. Like, enjoy the moment.
And it's not really, this is like, I had to really cut down on social media because I've found myself doing this.
Yeah.
You're at an event not to enjoy the event. You're at an event to tell people that you're at the event.
Dude, you couldn't have said it better. You could not have said it better. And you look back and you go, oh, well, what was your highlight of that event? Oh, I got this really good shot of, Freddie Flintstone singing this song. And it's like, well, where is it? Oh, it's on like 3 phones ago in the cloud. I don't know. And then you play it for somebody. And there's nothing worse than somebody who went to a concert and then wants to show you the clip of like the band in the middle of the chorus of some random song. And you're like, oh, that's great. Thank you for sharing that with me. The Dream Team in 1992, considered by many, if not most, to be the greatest team ever assembled. In the course of getting the gold medal in Barcelona, faced 5 NBA players, meaning that there were 5 NBA players combined on all the teams that Dream Team faced in Barcelona in 1992. The 2024 edition of Team USA will face 59 NBA players in the group stage alone of the Team USA tournament. 59 versus 5. In 32 years of growth. It really, the Dream Team doesn't get enough credit because we're too busy talking about how good they were and how do they stack up and the legacy of the players. What we don't talk about enough is Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Chris Mullin and everybody else involved in 1992 going to Barcelona and just absolutely taking over the Olympics, because that was the first year that they put pros in. And we don't take into account that somebody who saw that, let's say there was a 12-year-old kid or a 10-year-old kid that saw that in 1992. That means they were born in 1982. That means they're 42 years old today. How many of those kids decided, instead of playing soccer or cricket or whatever the hell they do in Europe, we're going to play basketball? And how many of those people had kids that they instilled that in? And you look at the league right now, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, obviously Nikola Jokic, on and on and on. The international players, Luka Doncic, are just the best amongst the best, if not the best in the world. You can legitimately have a Team USA, which, by the way, you want to change the All-Star game? That is the most obvious way to change the All-Star game. Team USA versus your international stars. That is the most obvious way to make it matter, because now you've got patriotism and USA, 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 and all that argument involved. And to be honest with you, Chris, if you take a look at the international team, you'd obviously have Luka. You'd have Embiid, I would think. God, do you go center or power forward with Embiid?
But he plays for Team USA.
Yeah, screw that. No, back to international. Sorry, buddy. Whatever. One way or the other, you have a front line of Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. You have Luka Doncic there. You have I don't even know how you do this. How would you do Giannis, Jokic, and Embiid? You have one coming off the bench? I don't think they're that deep. And then I got to keep thinking. I'm trying to think of a 2 or a 3. I know there is one. I'm just not thinking about it. That would be an international player. But let's just start right there. Your team, your international team would have Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, and Nikola Jokic, which I believe between Embiid, Giannis, and Jokic, don't you have something like the last 5 MVPs? And Luka's right there. That's how you fix the All-Star game. Everybody will care now about the All-Star game. Also, Spencer Dinwiddie goes back to Dallas on a 1-year deal. Minor move for them, but he had his best years in Dallas, and they continue to add to their depth. We'll take a break. Hey, remember that guy that spied on for Michigan? Remember the guy that had the porn star name, Connor Stallions? Well, he's about to make some money, and that's going to lead us to one of today's questions of the day. We'll let you know what Netflix is doing next.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper here to remind you that the famous Bay Area pizza company Amici's East Coast Pizzeria has just opened its first location in Sacramento, offering takeout and delivery to the greater Sacramento area. Visit amicis.com and click on the Sacramento banner for their menu and to order. And as a special deal all this week, enter promo code SAC20 at checkout to receive 20% off your entire order. So when you want to enjoy great pizza with family and friends this week, use promo code SAC20 at amicis.com and Amici's delivers.
Quick Quack Car Wash takes the drama out of keeping your car clean.
Let's wash the car. Don't spray the hose inside the car.
Our convenient wash packages make it easy to get your car soaked, scrubbed, and on your way. Protect your car from sun, rain, and pollen with a ceramic duck wash, and get our in-wash light show and an unbeatable clean.
Oh, the kids filled the gas tank with water.
Of course they did. Quick Quack Car Wash. Come in today and get 25% off any wash.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call, put Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey
everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store, and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Ryan says his real question in the chat room is, who's covering for me tomorrow? Ryan, you got to listen harder. Jason Ross is back tomorrow. Actually, Jason Ross is back late this evening. Jason will take over tomorrow. It'll be Jason and Christopher Laud until some point. And then the two of you are gone for a week. Is that next week or the week after?
The week after. We're both taking off August 2nd.
Is that a Monday through Friday week off?
Friday through
Thursday?
Friday through Friday.
Yeah, right? Are we saying the same thing?
No.
Wait, so you're not
My last day is Thursday.
And then you're not working Friday, and then when's your next day back?
Monday.
So
And
you're
Monday
so you're taking 6 days.
Yes.
Is he doing the same?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Golly, Jason Ross. Why is it Jason never gets crap for taking days off? Not that he should.
No.
Just saying. If I did, because Jason went to Bandon about a month ago? And then he's been gone a week now, and then in a week he's going to be gone another week. Man, if I did that, maybe.
I need to do something like that. I've got a ton of
You really should.
vacation time.
I mean, don't. But you should.
That was I remember talking to Chris Watkins last year when I was still working the afternoon, and I think it was him and Whitey were just about to get started. I'm like, dude, you have to take time off. He's like, oh, no, I don't feel it. I'm like, no, because you're not getting any during the King season, and then you're going to be mad at yourself.
Who was this you were talking
Chris
to?
Watkins.
Oh, Chris Watkins.
So I basically bullied him into taking time off.
Does he not?
No, I don't think he's taken any time off since him and Styles started.
And you got to. No matter if you have time that you can take off, you got to take some time off, man. You got to get out, clear your head, recharge if you can. I understand there's a bit of privilege attached to that. Here's something I know. Hey, when you're gone, do you ever think about, is the show better without me?
When I'm gone? No.
What if they like Kyle Moore or whoever's filling in?
Yeah, that hasn't. Well, I already assume you guys like Simone Moore, so if she fills in, then I already know that.
Casey Pratt's going to join us in about 12 minutes. So Connor Stallions. Yeah, that is definitely a name. Connor Stallions is the guy that was stealing signs for Michigan. He allegedly bought tickets to games and got on the sideline and it's the most blatant. It's so weird because Michigan just won the national championship, and this is the craziest sign stealing thing possibly. I mean, all I'm saying is this: when you look at what happened with the Astros and everyone banging on cans and stuff like that, on trash cans, and they won the championship that year. And it's almost like the Connor Stallions thing is like, well, yeah, I mean, whatever. So
they won and their head coach left.
Right. Right. Like, why are we not talking about this more? That Michigan, after this dude was doing his thing, won the national championship, and then their coach left because, it was time to leave. Or I don't know, maybe because sanctions were coming, which is the dumbest thing about college, that guys like Harbaugh could leave, assuming he did something wrong, which is alleged. And then if there's going to be punishments, those punishments fall on the people that weren't even there for the whole thing.
Wasn't there some sort of situation like that with Pete Carroll when he went to Seattle?
Yeah, there was. And the whole Reggie Bush USC thing. Anyways, Netflix is going to release a documentary next month, August 27th, featuring Connor Stallions. And he's going to tell his side of the story. He is the central figure of an NCAA investigation into the sign-stealing scheme that became a huge controversy. He was accused of illegally gathering intelligence on other teams by utilizing a vast network of people that would attend games on his behalf and record Michigan's future opponents' signals. This had been done allegedly over the last 3 years. The story went on to say it's not just about the act of gathering intel, that his vision for the program and his role went far beyond that. A previous report by Sports Illustrated indicated he had a detailed plan on how he would ultimately run the program in the future that he called the Michigan Manifesto. Has there ever been a manifesto that was good?
Communist.
Chris, just say no, or I don't know. Just say, I don't know. I'm not sure. I can't think of it. It's Chris for a lot. I feel like every time I hear manifesto, it's like somebody who bombed something or did horrible things.
It's 10,000 words, single space, double-sided.
Anyways, the info was obtained from a former student at a Power 5 school. But this dude had groups of people that were, again, allegedly doing this thing where they were filming signals. Now, any of you who've ever played Madden, you know that if you know what the other team is calling, you may not always stop them, but you know at least, look, if the other team's running the ball, you know to play everybody up a little more. If the other team is passing the ball, you know to play everybody a little bit back. Like, there may not be, other than, I guess, baseball, if you knew the pitches, a more advantageous thing in any sport than being a defense that knows what the offense is doing, or vice versa. And here's my thing. I don't have anything against Michigan. It's a fine school, whatever. If it is proven that Connor Stallions and his network filmed signals and then shared that with the Michigan staff, you take the date that first happened all the way through the bowl game last year, and you got to vacate literally every win, dude. National championship, banner, see you later, get out of here. None of it. Think about it. Spygate, the deflated football, the Houston Astros. Why is it that Michigan literally having a guy filming other teams' signals and hiring people to do it for him as well? This wasn't like the dude ran over there with a camcorder. How is that not and then they win the national title? How's that not a bigger deal? So I hope when this Netflix thing's come out, and listen, by the way, innocent until proven guilty. I mean, there's always another side to the story, but it doesn't look good. What are we doing?
The thing I think about when there is some sort of scandal like this and there isn't a huge pushback is because I believe other people are doing the same thing and they just don't want to get caught.
I mean, you're probably right. And it sucks because you know what? You shouldn't do that. And by the way, Michigan, it's not like you've ever had it. It's not like you've not ever had issues with one of your athletic programs cheating on a massive scale and then having to vacate things. You just went through this with the Fab Five. And by just, I mean, many years ago. I don't get it, dude. We'll take a break. When we come back, Casey Pratt joins us, talks about his new move into the Oakland mayor's office. What the hell's going on with the A's? Also, emails have been sent out recently, if not yesterday, to the first emails to employees of the Oakland Athletics, letting them know officially that, severance may or may not be coming, that type of thing, as many, many people losing their jobs. We'll talk to Casey about that and more next.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.
Spins away from the defender, in the paint, soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center for your Tuesday, starting out on a warm note. As we head through the afternoon, it's going to be hot once again. Under mostly sunny skies, expect afternoon temperatures 107 to 110. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Shop Folsom Lake Kia for special offers right now. I'm Coach Doug Christie urging you to visit my friends at Folsom Lake Kia and save big on your next new or certified pre-owned vehicle right now. Visit FolsomLakeKia.com.
Ah, the sweet feelings of summer. The kiss of warm sun on your skin. The softly scented breeze blowing through the trees. Don't worry, you have Off Clean Feel, fragrance-free mosquito repellent that feels good on skin, so even mosquitoes can't ruin those sweet feelings of summer. Off Clean Feel, prevention is the best protection from mosquitoes.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month, we make your phone your ride or die. Switch now and pick a free 5G phone with qualified plan purchase. And your fourth line at no additional cost. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach, kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere, certainly not in California. not even one piece. Good news, if we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, our next guest, or should I say our first guest of the day, Mike Camerlingo, coming up at 9. Old friend of ours, been all over the A's coverage, be it there or coming here. And now he's moving into the power halls of the world. So I'm wondering if you can help me with this. I'm trying to get into my Workday account to do some Workday stuff. And first off, the password expires every week. Secondly, I have to get a text message sent with a verification code. And then I just tried to put in a new password. This password does not meet the length, complexity, age, or history requirements of your corporate password policy. What?
Have you used it before?
I've probably used, I have like 4 I probably shouldn't say this, but I have like 4 passwords.
Yeah.
And then the problem is then I have to add like 4 exclamation points in uppercase and lowercase and a number. And then I can't remember my password. I had this issue with the Arby's app like a month ago. Dude, who's hacking my Arby's app? What are you going to do? Hack my Arby's app and get a beef and cheddar? I don't have any personal information in there. What the hell, man? Good morning, Casey.
Dave, I could fix all your problems right now. The key is the length of the password. So just take your old password, type it twice. That's all your problem solved right there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
All right.
They want them a lot longer these days.
There's a joke there I'm not going to make. Let's see. All right. I'm trying this right now with you on the air. I'm going to do the same. Hopefully the cameras aren't looking close. Although then again, I don't care. Hack my Workday. What are you going to do? Ask for time off? Let's see. I entered it.
I don't care about your Workday. I want to know the Arby's order. That's what I'm at.
They had a deal on beef and cheddars, man. I just wanted a beef and cheddar. The secret, if you eat fast food, which you shouldn't, I do one maybe once a week. It's what I call my reward meal. It's the apps, man. Like I went on the McDonald's app like a month ago. I'm doing a commercial for them right now, and it was like the sweet teas, which I love, are $1. And then it was like order a 20-piece chicken McNuggets and get 2 large fries with it for free. So for like $6, I got a 20-piece chicken McNug, 2 loads of fries, and a sweet tea. And then I went home and the kids were there. They got some nugs and some fries, and I fed the whole family for $7. I mean, I'm probably killing them early with the food, but Casey, I'm a dad. I'm a dad on a budget, man.
Well, if we're on this subject, I do a lot of volunteering for Ronald McDonald House Charities. And if they give you the option to round up on your order, always round up.
Hey, I do.
It goes a long way.
I really do.
It goes a long way for people.
Nope, I really do, honestly, because it's like that's the best way to do it too. Because I would be like, your total is $7.49. Do you want to round up to $8? I'm like, yeah. It's 51 cents, but hey, a lot of 51 cents adds up, Casey.
Big time. Absolutely. Did your password work?
You know what, brother? It absolutely did. But now I have to go back.
Look at this.
Yeah, look at you. You've already done
solving all the problems.
And this is precisely why the mayor of Oakland wants you on her staff. I can see that because you know how to solve the people's issues. I got to ask you, I was saying earlier, a good buddy of mine, Ben Sasanko, used to work for CBS 13 out here many years ago, transferred into Mayor KJ's office, and now he's in the world of politics. So you've done TV, you've risen up through the ranks, and you're going from TV to the mayor of Oakland's office. Why?
Well, Dave, I figured it's time to stop talking about it on TV and be about it and actually try to implement some change. And I've fought for Oakland my entire life. You've seen how hard I fought for Oakland sports and my coverage, and I think that people deserve to be proud of where they live and have civic pride. And I think that I want to help bring positivity and spread the message and just do the best I can to support the mayor and her administration. So yeah, man, that's basically it. When opportunity knocks, sometimes you just have to answer the door, and this wasn't a pivot I was looking to make, but the opportunity came to me and I said, sure, why not?
Okay, so let me see here, because dude, I love and hate following politics, but I appreciate. So let's see, you knocked right there in that one answer. You did enough talking about it. You got to be about it, which I saw that messaging on your Twitter yesterday. Knock on the door and answer. And I want to say I think you nailed 3 platitudes in one answer, which is 100% staying on message. You're already in the political world. So you love Oakland like I love Sacramento. And
100%.
This really caught my eye, Casey. We'll get to the A's in a second. It really did catch my eye because I've for years, worked with the mayors, whether it's KJ or now Daryl Steinberg, the mayor's former chief of staff, Canal Merchant's one of my best friends to this day, finally getting married next year. Thank God somebody's going to put up with him. I like being able to actually try to affect change, but I also am so turned off politically by everything. I don't care what the party is. I don't care who the person is. It's just you open yourself up to just everybody's a slime ball. Everybody's going to yell at you about something. You can't do this because this other thing needs this and that and that. And it really is a mental tax. I'm sure you thought of that before you accepted this job. And how were you able, what kind of deal were you able to make with yourself psychologically to go from being the pretty guy on TV that's well-spoken and everybody loves to going and working for someone who anybody that's a mayor of a major city like that is going to be a polarizing, controversial figure working in that office, knowing that you're going to get some not so friendly people?
Yeah, I think that firsthand, and I think that what you just said makes perfect sense. Like, you love Sacramento like I love Oakland, and I wanted to be able to help out. And I think that the same people that are already outraged with me for saying all the nice things I say about Oakland are the same people that are outraged at this news. It's no different in that regard, because, this Oakland coverage situation, everything I was doing on a daily basis had already become highly political. And you've experienced that as well. You just mentioned knowing the mayors and being good friends with the chief of staff. It's much the same for me. Like, the same people I'm talking to and dealing with today are the same people I was talking to and dealing with in all my A's coverage and Oakland sports coverage. So obviously there's a myriad of other issues that are now things that are on the table, but my favorite thing, frankly, I learned and experienced covering Howard Terminal and the A's Stadium saga is that it forced me to break out of my sports bubble, and I had to talk to politicians and economists and lawyers and real estate experts and learn all these different things about, how a stadium can be built, like your affordable housing percentages and your CEQA, your California environmental laws. And so in forcing myself to go into that realm in covering the A's, it really just opened me up to a whole nother world of people and experiences. And I really enjoyed it. So I like being a fast study. I like knowing how things work. And I just like learning. So I'm just, I'm learning as fast as I can right now.
I'm proud of you. Casey Pratt joining us, taking the plunge. And I want to get to the A's. I know you do too, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. And listen, I'm going to keep this, and I highly suggest, well, you do what you want, but I'm going to keep this incredibly non-specific. But I got to ask you, the mayor's been in the news recently. I'm sure you've read about that. And I got to be honest with you, dude. When I first heard, because I do like you and I do care about what you're doing, when I first heard the news as to what you were doing, my first reaction was like, oh, good for him. And then my second reaction was like, ugh, okay, because you're stepping into a bit of a tornado there. And I'll let people Google as to why. I got to ask you, was that tornado part of the reason you chose to make the move right now to be there as a line of defense, or is it just coincidental?
I would say it's just coincidental.
Okay.
All of that is something you have to consider when you take the job. All that being said, again, my first day was yesterday, so I can't necessarily get deep into the whole situation because I just frankly wasn't there for any of it. But my thing is, I've gotten to know this mayor really well. I really like her. I really respect her, and I enjoy all of our interactions. And I wouldn't have taken this job if she was the type of person she's being portrayed as. That is absolutely not the case. So yes, I consider all of that in making my decision, but I can say that, me, I wouldn't jump into something if it was something that I thought was as bad as it's being portrayed as.
Are the A's leaving Oakland and no chance of them coming back? Is that something that you believe, or do you still believe there's a lot more hope than a lot of people think?
Look, if the A's have any chance of staying in Oakland, I like the fact that I'll probably be in those meetings now. That being said, I think they're 100% on their way to Sacramento. That ship has sailed.
Yep.
The bigger question for me isn't whether or not they end up in Sacramento. It's if they end up in Las Vegas. And if they don't end up in Las Vegas, does Sacramento have a chance to keep them? Or will all the tech billionaires in the Bay Area jump up and have another shot? And I think that that's the more likely scenario. But, as we've discussed at length, especially the day this all came out and I was able to press Vivek Ranadive about it, is he feels like the amnesty he granted the A's puts him in pole position, as he says. And I don't disagree with that. I just think that the pole position is not going to mean a whole lot when all these power players out in the Bay Area step up to the plate, if they get that chance.
What do you make of the recent revelation? Or I should be fair. What do you make of the recent allegations? Aren't the right word either. The whole gag order on potential buyers, kind of, whether some say it was Major League Baseball, some say it was Oakland officials, some say it was a combination of both. It seems like it would be quite the different storyline if you had publicly a row of very rich people trying to buy a team that was trying to leave Oakland. I feel like that would change the narrative quite a bit. I know you've known about that because we've talked about it, but now that that's out in public, how do you see that playing out?
Yeah, I like that you acknowledge that we've talked about that, because stuff like this happens all the time where something will come out in an article and everyone will freak out. And I'll be like, dude, I've been telling you guys this for like years, first and foremost, Oakland would never be the people to tell owners not to come forward. If they did, it would be because the commissioner told them to tell them that. This is like the unwritten rules of baseball at an ownership level. If you're interested in buying a team, you don't come out and say it, because as soon as you do, it's an instant turnoff for the MLB commissioner and the other owners. You don't do that, because all it does is create problems for whatever deals they're trying to broker in the background. And so, yeah, that's like unwritten rule A1 of ownership. You don't make noise ahead of that. Joe Lacob has very respectfully made some noise by making some quotes. I've been saying forever there are a lot of other groups out there that would definitely be interested in buying the team aside from the Joe Lacob group. All of that being said, if you ever want a chance, you got to keep your mouth shut. And that's exactly what's happening. So this whole gag order story blew up, but stuff that you and I have been talking about for a long time, and it's all just common. I mean, this is what happens. You can't make that noise or you're not going to be considered.
I keep going back to the same thing, Casey, and as Casey Pratt joins us, nobody knows this story better than you, and I keep going back to the same thing, which is You have the worst owner in sports that has driven not one but two franchises into the ground, along with the earthquakes. It would be comical if it wasn't so heartbreaking what John Fisher has done to the A's. You have the hottest sports market in America in Las Vegas that's prime for an expansion team. And you have multiple deep-pocketed and in some cases already sports owners that are willing to bid to buy this team from John Fisher, keep it in Oakland. When Sacramento was moving to Seattle, the problem here is we didn't have an ownership group. Kevin Johnson had to put that ownership group together on the fly. And the whole thing was, does anybody want to pay a record amount of money to keep this NBA team in a small market like Sacramento? You're talking about a massive market in the Bay Area. You're talking about deep-pocketed owners, and you're talking about the worst owner in sports. Casey, why is baseball letting this happen?
I think because they feel, as an ownership collective, that standing up to the public funds being demanded by all these different municipalities to keep their teams or to get investments in stadia, I think that they feel like if they don't stand up to that and make an example out of a market, then these funds will dry up everywhere else too. John Fisher may be a terrible owner, but he hasn't committed any crimes. Yeah. He hasn't done anything that, warrant him being thrown out of the ownership group. I think that that's where they're at. And the sad thing is, I truly believe that Las Vegas would be a great baseball market.
Yeah.
I obviously know Oakland's a great baseball market, and I really do think Sacramento would be a great baseball market. So, but what's happening is they're muddying the waters in all three of these great places just for this ownership group, and I think it's terrible. Like, I would love expansion in Vegas and the A's stay in Oakland, or expansion in Vegas and the A's stay in Sacramento. I think that keeping that team in Northern California, it would be spectacular. Obviously, my preference would be Oakland, as you know, but Sacramento's not that far, and I love going there for River Cats games. So I think that that's probably the best outcome, but that's not the outcome they're looking at. And because of that, it's just really dragging everybody through the mud. And every time the A's and John Fisher have a chance to show that they have something actually cooking in Vegas, they don't show you anything. And it's like, it's starting to get extremely suspicious.
It's been suspicious for a long time. It's getting very publicly,
it's far more suspicious, to the point that Vegas people are noticing now. But yes, we've been talking about how suspicious this is for a long time, Dave.
Yeah, there's no there it seems presented to the council at Las Vegas. Just a lot of writing and gobbledygook, and we've heard different opinions. Hey, they're on track or they're way behind. I want to go back to something I've been talking about all week, which is the financing for John Fisher, and the fact that he's seemingly trying to raise around $850 million, somewhere in that neighborhood, to privately fund or help privately fund the stadium, in addition to the public subsidy that he's getting. And I keep going back to his valuation for a team that's somewhere in the $1 to $2 billion range, probably more in the middle. And it sounds like his valuation, without having to give up a majority share, is going to have to be around $3 billion for non-controlling interest shares. Do you see him finding a path to financing this thing through private equity? Because it doesn't seem like he's getting a lot of bites on that fish hook.
Yeah, right now there just aren't bites. I haven't heard of any, and their financing situation hasn't been great. Goldman Sachs had spent a lot of time trying to line up a loan for them, and they finally put together a package that the A's rejected. They just haven't been able to demonstrate that the money is there. And they keep saying, oh, well, if we have to, the family will cover it. But there's been no evidence that they will. I mean, that's the thing, is they could really shut up everybody really quick, and they had a huge opportunity to in that last Las Vegas Stadium Authority meeting, and they yet again showed up without any information, and Dave Kaval and John Fisher weren't even in the meeting. So I think that there's still a lot more questions than answers about financing. for this ballpark. And, the partner on their land there that was supposed to be developing all the stuff around the ballpark also has a lot of question marks. So at this point in time, they got to start answering some questions soon, because the people in Las Vegas are going to get even more frustrated. And then you got the NBA probably coming to town. So there's just a lot of options in Las Vegas, and baseball is not presenting itself as one of the elite options at the moment.
So let's go way, way, way into the future and Vegas aside, because the other interesting thing is that public subsidy falls apart, as I understand it. If they change venue, if that site should fall through and they have to do it all over again, and it seems like the political climate now is not what it was for this stadium now that more people know more things. Let's just assume Vegas falls through, whether it's this year, next year, the year after, and now all of a sudden the A's are in Sacramento. Do you see it as they're now the Sacramento A's and Vivek moves in or Fisher stays? Or do you think at that point, I'm asking you to guess, and it's an educated one, do you think at that point Fisher just says, all right, we're going to auction, highest bidder, Vivek, you got the same opportunity as everybody else, Joe Lacob, Larry Ellison, whoever, you guys have your opportunities, let's go. How do you see that playing out, assuming Vegas falls through?
I think if Vegas falls through, he's definitely going to sell. I think he may have been forced to sell if he couldn't have found anywhere to play the next several seasons.
Agreed.
Which is why when Vivek stepped up and gave them basically free rent in their run of Sutter Health Park, it really undercut Oakland and essentially secured Fisher's path to Vegas. But if he does sell, I think it's going to the highest bidder. What I think Vivek did, though, was a huge favor for Rob Manfred and Major League Baseball. And obviously they have a large say in who inevitably buys the team. So that will put him in their good graces, but I don't know how much good graces are going to mean when money is on the table. So that's where it'll probably end up if Vegas does not happen.
And I got to be fair, just as you are, you and I both are very clear on where we're at with this thing. But the pushback, because I've said what you've said before, what you just said, which is providing the path, making it easier for John Fisher. The pushback I've received is, hey, look, it would have been Sacramento or it would have been Salt Lake City. And Sacramento knew that, and they tried to grab the team because better here than in Salt Lake City. Do you agree with that pushback?
Not really. And the reason why is because of the TV deal. I think the A's staying in Sacramento gave them the opportunity to largely stay on the TV contract that was critical for them because it was a lot of money. Dave Kaval told me himself, I haven't heard this from anywhere else, that the TV deal essentially stayed the same, which is big because it was paying them a fortune, around $70 million a year. And if they lost that money, they would have been in big trouble because they have said themselves they were operating on a $40 million a year loss. I'm not sure how you could possibly pull that one off, but that money was critical. So, that's why when you started looking at Salt Lake City or potentially, Las Vegas's AAA park as an option, those were really non-starters because if they were in breach of their TV contract, their entire financial system would go belly up. So it was critical.
Yeah,
they stayed here.
60
NorCal area,
and with a payroll of $60 million to your points, that TV deal is rather vital. So then, let me turn this around in just a couple more here. So, in your opinion, if Sacramento had not been or become the port in the storm for the Athletics, and we're standing here today, how do you think that part plays out? They go back to Oakland and try to grind out a deal there until Vegas. They end up going to Vegas and playing in that minor league park and taking it in the teeth. How do you think that would have ended? Let's remove Sacramento from the equation.
They were already at the table and highly motivated in Oakland to solve that issue because they already had their own facilities there. They already have all their offices there. It would have been a whole lot easier for them just to stay in Oakland, but Oakland stuck to their guns too and said, hey, look, you're going to have to pay us a pretty sizable lease if you want to stay in this area, which was a savvy move on their part because they did not want to help Fisher get to Vegas either.
Sure.
Right? These next 3 years were critical for John Fisher to find a way to get to Las Vegas. So, they would have been happy to let the A's stay there, but they weren't going to make it pain-free. What ended up happening was Sacramento came to the table and made it largely pain-free, aside from the renovations that'll need to happen at Sutter Health Park. And, we probably don't have time to get on the whole artificial turf tangent, but, I think that there's a lot of issues with all of this, and I'm surprised the MLBPA is so willing to play ball here, so to speak.
Last thing for you, and I don't want to put you in a tough spot, but let's just be perfectly transparent. You're going to work for the mayor of Oakland. Let's go back in the time machine 2 days, because I think you can answer this question as Casey Pratt, the news guy, and not Casey Pratt speaking on behalf of the mayor, but I'll let you do whatever you want to do. Where is the city of Oakland when it comes to any possible opportunity that might arise in the A's somehow returning to Oakland? As silly or as impossible as it may seem, is the mayor still, like, if the mayor got a call tomorrow, is in your mind, is she coming to the table? Is there still a deal to be had if John Fisher were to cooperate, which is like, if my wife didn't get on me for doing the dishes, it's not going to happen, but is that a scenario?
Yeah, I can, obviously I've only worked there one day, so I'm not fully uploaded on everything. That being said, as a news person that has spoken to the mayor about this very subject many times, she would absolutely be willing to answer the phone. I can tell you that. Because obviously the A's in Major League Baseball are massively beloved in this region. And if they had a chance to come back and stay there, especially under a new ownership regime, they would jump at it. And not just because of keeping the sport, because they've already done an immense amount of work to get this thing done, right? Like, they were 90% of the way there to keeping the A's before Fisher walked away. So yes, they have Howard Terminal as an option. They have the Coliseum site as an option. They have tons and tons and tons of time and money and effort spent on keeping this team, and they could, in a lot of ways, pick up where they left off. So yes, I could tell you for sure they would be willing to take that call.
All right. So as we say goodbye, I'm kind of curious, Casey, like, is this it? Like, when we want to talk A's in the future and stuff, are you going to have to be all like official and I can't say this, which is perfectly understandable. You're an official guy now. I mean, is this our last conversation on this, or are you still going to be available? How's that going to go moving forward with your media hits?
Call me, man.
Okay.
I mean, I think you and I know each other really well at this point, and we exchange high-level messages off the radio too. But everything I say is always official, Dave. It's been that way forever. That doesn't change. You give me a call, I'll answer. And, I just want to say one last thing, since I am on the Sacramento airwaves. There was some confusion last week where Kings fans were trying to say that I'm anti-Sacramento, and I can say unequivocally that's not the case. Hopefully you'd back me up on that. I've always expressed my love and appreciation for Sacramento and the fans there and the heroic efforts they made to keep the Kings. And like, I even tweeted, like, show me one thing I've said negative about Sacramento, I'll wait. And not only did nobody send me anything, I got a DM from the person that said it apologizing because he realized that I actually have been a champion of Sacramento as well. So I love you guys out there. I've always been a huge fan. Like, my favorite memories covering the A's, believe it or not, were when I was at Sutter Health Park when the River Cats were the A's affiliate, and I got a big hug from Manny Ramirez, and I got to see Yoenis Cespedes rehabbing down there and catching up with all the top prospects for the system. And I mean, I've always said that's a very beautiful ballpark, and I think it's a phenomenal place.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, and I saw that whole exchange, and it was lame, and I wanted to stay out of it because I'm a human starting gun with crap like that, and you were doing just fine. Here, the bottom line is, the rich people do rich people stuff, and it's like a divorce almost. It's the kids that always suffer, just like the fans, and seeing Oakland and Sacramento fans turn on each other when, quite frankly, they have so much in common. They really do have so much in common with not just their underrated or the cities with the bad narratives, the teams moving. And I don't think I would have survived the Kings moving, and Oakland fans have had to survive now coming up on 3 teams leaving in the course of about 5 or 6 years. So well said. I will call you. Good luck. Don't, always wipe your hand on your pant leg before you shake someone's hand so it's not clammy. And we'll talk to you very soon, my friend.
Thanks, Dave. Have a good one.
See you, buddy. It's Casey Pratt moving on up. It's interesting. Good for him. Also, pray for him. That is a world, dude. When we come back, Jason's back tomorrow. We'll clean up some stuff. The Niners camp, they open today, and the WNBA looking to continue their ascension in the sports world. We'll tell you what next.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center for your Tuesday, starting out on a warm note. As we head through the afternoon, it's going to be hot once again. Under mostly sunny skies, expect afternoon temperatures 107 to 110. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I'm a very active person that likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT Turbo Max. In stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive. All in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. M73124.
Unleash your backyard's potential with Premier Pools and Spas. As the region's top pool builder, no challenge is too difficult for us. Let us create the perfect pool for your home and your budget. Call or search Premier Pools and Spas and get started today. CSLB number 589234.
Whitey here reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Great, the YouTube chat's talking tacos now. I'm hungry.
I made some on Sunday.
What kind?
I found like this birria recipe.
That's the beef, good. Right?
Yeah.
Was that slow cooked?
Yeah.
Is that their like shredded beef?
Yes.
I don't like shredded meat. That's like my one weakness. I don't like shredded meat. Chicken, beef, pork. I don't. Why? I don't know. Everybody has their weird things. I'm not a particularly picky guy. I really am not. Obviously, I'm not a picky guy. I just don't like meat strings. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like meat yarn. I just don't like the way it looks. And then depending on the tenderness, you end up with this like it's almost like chewing tobacco but meat in your cheek. Like a little squirrel. I like the consistency of meat when it's meat. But when it's meat strings, it's wormy and weird to me, and I get that I sound really weird right now, but everybody has their particular things. Like eggs and shredded meat are my two struggles. Sure, I bet the flavor was amazing. It's a consistency thing for me. You're having issues with this.
Yeah, what do you consider a hamburger? Because that's not meat.
No, it's ground meat, but it's not stringy. It's not shredded. It's ground. Now it looks like kind of shredded when it's raw, but then it becomes like a puck. Like I had last night, I tried something new, and my God, I'm going back to this one, dude. You can do this in a cast iron pan, but I use the griddle outside, the Blackstone. The Traeger flat top that I use. Thank you, Amy Ace Hardware. And when you make a smash burger, you roll the burger into like a ball, big fat meatball, and you smash it with your little smash burger smashy thing, a little heavy whatever thing, with a little parchment paper on it so it doesn't stick. Well, what I'd seen online and I've been wanting to try for a while is what you do is you take an onion and you slice it, you cut it in half, and then you make the thinnest half moons you can make. If you have a mandolin at home, that's even better, but you can do it by hand. And what you do is you take the mandolin, you take a pot, you take a little handful of onions, and what you do is you just kind of put them on top of the meatball, and some of them will fall to the side. That's fine. And then you take the smashy thing, and you smash the burger down, and the onion gets smashed in the burger itself. And then this is the weirdest thing, but I swear to God it worked. So now you have a smashed raw burger that's beginning to cook. You got to have this thing on high with the onions inside it. And you put a couple of lines of mustard on the top. And then you flip the burger with the wet mustard on top. And it creates this like mustardy crust. The onions are cooked inside. And then you put the cheese on top, right? Then you put the top of the bun on top of the cheese while it's still on the grill so that it molds to it. and then you put the bottom of the bun on top of the top bun because it steams it, so that by the time the burger is all done, the bottom bun is steamed. The top bun has molded itself into the whole thing. The onions are caramelized, and you're just eating this massive caramelized onion burger. Oh, my God. It's amazing.
It was okay.
I'm telling you, dude, and you can put 2 of those on a bun if you want. I just did one. Shredded lettuce, little ketchup. There might be nothing better than just a good smash burger. I hadn't had it. My first smash burger was like 2 years ago.
I haven't had a smash burger before.
You've never had, and I'm not talking, I mean, look, the smash burger, the place, but there's something about the reason why smash burgers are so good is there's something called the Maillard effect that hits meat when you crust it. It's a chemical reaction that happens, and it's what makes the Crispies so good. And you create this thinner, larger surface area to get that effect on both sides. So you, in effect, have this crust on the outside of either side of the burger, and then nice and soft on the inside, plus onions, plus cheese. Ugh. Anyways, Frank wants us to go at his mom's house because she makes, and I quote, the best Mexican food on the West Coast and homemade tortillas. Homemade tortillas, that's pretty darn good. I want to do this. I already screwed up most of the segment. You guys got me talking about food, dude. Jason is back tomorrow. The show will be on track and far more professional, and there'll be no arguments, at least involving any hosts inside the inside.
Are you on goofball pills or something?
A lot of people saying, are you saying you don't like pulled pork sandwiches? If I'm going to do shredded meat, it would be pulled pork. I do on occasion like, but I'll do pulled pork, but it's not pulled pork. It's more like chunked pork, if that makes sense. Like, I don't take the 2 forks and shred it per se. I'll take 1 fork and just kind of chunk it into chunks, little tiny chunks, but chunks. So it's still meaty. It's still meat. It's not worms. It's not strings. No, a smash burger is not nutritionally dense. Also, if you want a tip, if you're caramelizing onions, if you have some vermouth around the house and it's honestly worth it just for this, take a little splash of Martini and Rossi vermouth. If you're caramelizing your onions, throw that in there with a pinch of sugar. Oh, forget about it. The WNBA is enjoying a renaissance of a season, really a renaissance time right now, a golden age, if you will, whatever it may be. And that's leading to a lot more demand. And that's leading to a lot more demand of games. And Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, says the league's regular season schedule could expand from 40 to 44 games ahead of the 2025 season, saying, quote, we'll look at the footprint for next year. We don't have an international competition like the FIBA World Cup or the Olympics, so we'll be able to look at our footprint without any interruption or break like we're breaking this year. And that 4-game increase could coincide with the inaugural season of the league's 13th team, the Golden State Valkyries. The 44-game season is the maximum allowed under the WNBA's current CBA, but players could vote in November to opt out of the agreement, and then it would expire after the 2025 season. I got to think they're going to opt out. Because of that TV deal and because of the way the WNBA is right now. And, dude, if you're the WNBA, unless you're losing money on games itself, if you're getting enough people to at least make it profitable, let's go, man. Double everybody's salary out of the gate as a minimum, double everything across the board, and go to 80 games. I'd love nothing more than the WNBA to be, along with baseball, the anchor of the summer sports season. I really would. More stuff to talk about, more fun stuff to talk about. We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not, we'll go streaking. And another sport looking to extend their footprint, and it sounds like it's getting closer. So some pretty decent breaking news out of the world of sports. We'll tell you all about that next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Insurance companies perform a very valuable service, but they want to keep their money. Although most cases settle before trial, it is paramount that the insurance companies know that if pressed, your legal team has the experience to take your case all the way. For 25 years, Ashton and Price has earned the reputation that if the insurance company isn't fair, we're ready to force them to be fair. My mom used to warn me, wait till dad gets home. Think of us as dad. The best part, there's no fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now, Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by McKee Brothers, Clemmy Reuter and Inc. and Dawson Oil Company.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity Mobile. Connect to the most reliable 5G network nationwide. Well, the A's first pick in this year's draft is Wake Forest first baseman Nick Kurtz. Now, Kurtz, a 6'5" left-handed hitter, has drawn comparisons to Matt Olson and maybe even Hall of Famer Jim Thome. And even though the A's had the fourth pick in the draft, A's scouting director Eric Kubota said that Kurtz was the first pick on their board.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? Now through September 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for just $15 a month, add the new Stream Saver. That includes Peacock, Apple TV Plus, and Netflix for just $35 a month. Switch at Xfinity.com today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay to store bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular internet rates apply. Currently $54 a month. Actual speeds vary. Stream Saver requires Xfinity internet or TV and price subject to change.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Other than the great people of Sacramento today, who's hot? Because it's already hot out there, dude.
Shohei Ohtani.
Freaking 8:47 and it's hot. Yeah.
In his first 97 games with the Dodgers, he has hit 120 hits and 30 home runs. He's the first left-handed hitter to reach those numbers within 100 games for a team since Babe Ruth did the same feat in 94 games with the 1920 Yankees.
Is that good? I feel like he's good.
He's pretty good.
He hit a shot the other day.
Oh, that looked like it cleared everything.
Like it still hasn't landed yet. It was insane.
One is hammered. Deep right center field. Way out of here. And Ohtani joins the home run party. A 30 home run season for Shohei Ohtani.
I don't know that did it justice. Let's try again.
Ohtani, right field, forget about it. A massive shot. Wow. 473 feet.
Wow. Who's not?
The Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
They lost yesterday 9-8 in 12 innings to the Colorado Rockies. It was their fourth loss in a row and their second loss in that losing streak, where they lost after having a lead in the 8th inning or later and a lead in the 10th inning.
They were looking really good, too, for about a month. Really were looking good.
I think it also helped that the Yankees were doing terribly.
It did. And part of that was the Red Sox. From the 408, did you hear about Eric Burns' prediction for the A's in the move to Vegas? I did not. Somebody tell me. That's from the 408, former, I believe, Giant, Eric Burns, who I sat next to once in the Rise Guys studios when he was filling in and watched him get his hair crimped by Emily, who was then an intern. Yeah, watched it live. Wanted to bring this out, by the way, just because you never know if you live in a bubble, if maybe you're wrong. But the worst take I saw on Twitter yesterday was a guy who tweeted at Scott Moak, our beloved PA announcer for your Sacramento Kings. And he said, quote, "Stop the cheesy Keegan Murray thing. It was cute with Yogi Ferrell because he was barely an NBA player. Keegan has a chance to be a major star. Doesn't need gimmicks. Please stop." And I don't know how the algorithm works, because then I always want to see, well, who's saying this? And I clicked on the profile and I blocked this person a long time ago. I don't know how it showed up on my feed where it wasn't blocked. I read through this guy's I read through about 10 of this dude's tweets, and I went, "Oh, okay." I get it.
Do you do that when you're about to like rip someone and then you go, "Oh, let's look at what they're
100%.
They're just a troll that replies to everything and doesn't have any replies back to them."
Or sometimes they'll have certain other tweets that kind of let you know who they are and what they're all about, and you go, "Oh, you're that guy. Okay, this isn't going anywhere, and I am really sorry for whatever happened to you, but that's going to turn into an all-day song and dance that no one's going to win, and it's like throwing dog crap at each other. Everyone just stinks." But I don't get that. I know that I know that to some, and I'm not, this isn't a shot at you, Chris. You're a good contrarian, but I'm saying there's just like some people that are like, that's the popular opinion. I'm going to be the truth teller. And I'm not talking to everybody like that. If you don't think this applies to you, I'm saying the person that really, truly doesn't even necessarily believe in that contrary opinion. They just want to be the guy or girl, but usually it's a guy. Let's be honest. That's just like, oh, well, you like babies? Let me tell you about babies and how terrible they are. Birthdays? Please. Nothing, whatever. I don't care. Find something that everybody loves. And this person is always going to be like, nope. And you go, you must be a blast at parties. The Keegan Murray chant is one of the coolest, purest things in American sports right now. And I say that with absolutely a ton of bias.
It's in NBA 2K.
It's in NBA 2K. It's in the video games. He likes it. The players like it. The fans love it. Who cares? Who cares? For real. Who cares?
A fun thing I've noticed is you'll see a lot of kids in Keegan Murray jerseys now. And if you see like one running around, just go, Keegan. Like they'll stop whatever they're doing.
Yep. 100%. I think Monty McNair was on this very show once. Well, he was on more than once, but he was on a long, long time ago when Monty came on. And he was talking about playing, Nerf hoop with his kid, little tiny kid. And the whole point was his kid wanted to be Keegan Murray, and every time he'd score, he'd make his dad, who happens to be the GM of the Kings, do the Keegan Murray chant. Like even if it was only kids at the game, and it's tough for old, salty, leather-faced, been through the mud adults to sometimes remember this, or realize this, but there are literally kids that go to Kings games and all they want to do is go, Murray. That's all they want.
When I was a kid going to my first Kings game, all I wanted was the sound meter to go off for the fake flames.
Right. I was the same way at the old Arco. They had they were actually little streamers at the top. That's all I wanted. And when it was time to try to make it happen, man, I was as loud as I'd lose my voice just because I want to see the stupid streamer blow. It's what kids like, and a lot of adults. That's like it's like the people that are like, the beam. What a gimmick. Yes. What an amazing gimmick the beam is. And it's ours, and it's okay. And people love it, and they like to take pictures with it. And it represents something good and fun and positive. It's the dream. Imagine when we were at Arco thinking the team was going to leave, that we'd one day have a state-of-the-art arena, and after every win, there'd be a purple beam that went up so high it could hit a cloud, literally could bounce off a cloud. No. Win a championship. That's all that matters. Focus on that. Okay. Life doesn't have enough joy in it, people. Let's go streaking, speaking of joy, right now.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking.
Oh, I hope he's not being serious. Do we actually have two people that are you gotta tell me, you guys being serious or no, that are saying kill the beam? Delivery Joe and MC, who I really wouldn't have guessed that. Say what you want about MC, we go back and forth, but we generally agree on stuff like this. MC says, bring it back and only use it if it's a playoff W. Eventually a lit crown if we get the championship. I agree with the crown thing.
Rami, when he was here, had the idea of having a different beam for each one in the playoffs.
Why would we want to why limit the beam? I mean, look, you should only light it after wins.
Yes.
But what?
No, but for like each win in the playoffs, you get a new beam. So it's like 1, 2. So you have two beams.
I
You
see.
have 3.
I got you. So you kind of split them.
Yes.
I got you. I just don't understand. Why would you want to limit the beam? Other than wins, is there a thing? Is there a group out there that's like, it's too much beam? There's too much beam. Change the beam? Trying to figure out if they're being on it. If they're just having fun or being serious. All right, let's go streak.
Okay, since you've got the longest streak of 5.
That's right.
I've got a streak of, that's not even a streak, it's just 1, but I picked Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, you did.
The Royals beat the Diamondbacks 10-4. Bobby Witt got up 4 times, 3 hits, including a home run. He was hot yesterday.
Yeah, you know what? And I believe he was a single away from the cycle, as a matter of fact. In fact, I know he was. He got like the triple, the home run, and the double. And then he came up in the 6th. It was actually my muse for the whole baseball fights thing, because he got hit by a pitch. And that pissed off Salvador Perez, who you don't want to piss off. And then he ended up flying out his next at bat, but he was 1 hit away from the cycle. All right, anyways.
And then for your streak of 5 going to 6, you picked Freddie Freeman of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
So you're hoping for a Dodgers win over their opponent, the San Francisco Giants.
I was not. I wanted to get shut out, but him to have 5 hits.
The Dodgers had combined 6 hits.
Oh, God.
Freddie Freeman, he got up 3 times. And no hit.
Oh, come on. Of course it's a Dodger. Of course it's a Dodger. Of course it's a Dodger. I hate you, Freddie Freeman. I hate you so much.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, Shohei Ohtani.
Going with Shohei Ohtani.
I always start off going from a Dodger that ended it to a Dodger that begins it.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm also going with Shohei Ohtani.
Wow.
And then we'll see if you get any picks on your European trip.
If you see what now?
If you get any picks in during your
European
trip.
Just text me. Phone will work. Text me, I'll get my picks in. Tries with it for free. So for like, all right, hold on. There we go. Sorry. Don't unmute. We'll take a break. When we come back, Twitter star in the world of sports and all around funny guy. Mike Camerlengo will join us, and we'll talk about the art of his viral videos and how the heck he got started. We'll do that. Yeah.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to saclegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
Jason Mraz and the Super Band. Live. The mystical, magical, rhythmical, radical ride. Friday, August 9th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Jason Mraz and the Super Band with special guest Molly Miller Trio. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Jason Mraz and the Super Band in concert. Pick up the new album, Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, let's have some fun. Mike Camerlengo is a social media star, if you will. I don't know. I hope that's not insulting sounding. I mean it as a compliment. He's very, very good at what he does. You can go check it out at 60secondclassics.com. Follow him, M. Camerlengo, Camerlengo. Wait, wasn't it Camerlengo? Was that what Obi-Wan's character played in the Da Vinci Code movie? Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Oh, that calling social media star, that's not insulting at all. It's not really true, but I'll take it. Good morning. Thanks to be here. Yeah, the Da Vinci Code, that's what kept me going. I was reading the book. Every other page would say Camerlengo on it, and I'm an egomaniac, so I would be like, oh, nice, there's my name again.
Then Ewan McGregor played you.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, pretty cool.
You know, what's pretty cool is what you do online because it's funny and you don't take yourself seriously. And I think, look, I could sit here and slobber on you all day. I think my favorite thing is that there's a lot of times where I'm like, dude, get out of my head. And I'll go to like Bloodsport, and by the way, you've had this question before. You're going to do better than me. please to describe for the audience who isn't familiar with your work, and shame on them, if you were trying to describe what you do, how would you describe it?
Well, it's the whole thing is called 60-second classic. So loosely, it started, I would try to recap a movie in a minute, but with that synopsis would be filled with lots of jokes. So I would make jokes, not necessarily at the movie's expense, because these are movies and things that I love. Like every video I make is something I'm a fan of. So yeah, Bloodsport, there's a lot of parts in there where you could go, oh, isn't this silly? But it's like, yeah, that's awesome. I tried to do that kick 25 times when I was a kid. So basically what I do is I'll either do like a recap of a full movie, or I will break down a scene, and I'll kind of break it down like, treat it like it's real, kind of do like an X's and O's thing, and try to mix in, push the scene along, but also try to mix in some jokes. It's basically my way of revisiting these old classic movies and TV shows, and sometimes sports, with the added bonus of like, here's some fun commentary on top of it.
So Bloodsport's one of the pillars of my youth, and anytime I meet a fellow Bloodsport fan, I always like to ask, there's whether we're going with the multiple montages, the OK USA line, there's so many things you could pick apart, the wide eyes, the scream, the roundhouse kicks. Did you ever though pause while watching the movie? And I'm not going to use the real names, but you'll know what I'm doing here. When Van Damme, like, he knows Ogre for like 5 minutes in the whole movie, right? And then when Ogre gets his head stomped by Chong Li is in the hospital, the montage of Van Damme and Ogre's relationship in there is one of the best and most forced montages I've ever seen, and unintentionally hilarious in my opinion.
Yeah, they formed the tightest bond in the quickest amount of time ever.
That was it. The headband in the video game.
I wonder if there's an extended, a couple of like extended scenes that we're not seeing, where that really shows their relationship build. But yeah, they had fun with the video game, with the quarter or whatever they do, and then the next second he's fighting for him.
Yes.
Which, by the way, Ogre, he I don't know what movie does, but he hits Chong Li. Chong Li is a maniac. He's literally killing people in the fight, and Ogre, gets a move on him, and he starts like celebrating, like, dude, you're on the 5-yard line. You might want to just keep running. Like, what are you doing? That's one where you yell at the screen. Even now, I'm like, dude, turn around. So
he also calls it shot when he says, "I'm going to kill you," before he even fights him.
And we've seen this right at him. We've seen this so many times. You saw it in Game of Thrones when the Mandalorian had and he starts stomping around. He gets his eyes poked out. It's what I tell Chris all the time. Where in wrestling, never, if you're beating a guy, never throw him against the ropes and try to clothesline him, because that is always where the tide turns and the dude ducks under and then comes back and the whole fight changes. Like, just Ogre, finish the job.
Finish the job. And, they set it up though. He's kind of like a fun guy. He's not taking it too seriously. So he's like, yeah, I'll be fine. And it didn't work out well for him. But it sets up the Van Damme revenge. He kind of does it in his honor. And even him, I mean, what a great movie. It's such a great movie. And I wonder how I would like it. So many of these movies that I go back and break down and do all this stuff are movies that I watched when I was younger. And it is funny to be like, if I just saw this now for the first time, how would I feel about it? I don't know. I'm in too deep. I love them so much.
Yeah, they're classics. There's no going against it. Mike Camerlengo joins us. Go to 60secondclassics.com or follow him or follow him, M. Camerlengo, on Twitter. So how often do you get requests? All the time? Daily?
I used to get a lot more requests, but I think I've done a lot of them. But I am always, I love when someone gives me a good request where I'm like, yeah, that's great.
So Chris and I were talking about this during the break, and he's got one that's kind of sports related. I'm going to go movie. And Mike, the problem here is that I'm always, first off, you never want to tell an artist how to art. Secondly, I'm like dead afraid that you've already done this, but I swear I've never seen it. And you've done another one. One of my favorite ones you've ever done is obviously Roadhouse, which, much like Bloodsport, is a cinematic classic for so many reasons. And speaking of Patrick Swayze, are you familiar with the 80s hockey movie Youngblood?
So here's a funny thing. I have kind of had that name thrown at me before. Yeah. I've never seen it.
Oh, God.
Seen it. I know, because I love Swayze, and I know sometimes people will be like, dude, you're an idiot. How have you never seen this? Like, I watch your videos. I know your personality. I know you would like this movie. And I just go, I don't know. So please, that's good. Right? I'm writing it down. I'm going to watch it.
Listen, first off, it is 100% your kind of movie. If I know you at all from what you do on Twitter, it is 100% your kind of movie. Think of it as like cheese ball, blood sport. What blood sport is to the Kumite, young blood kind of is to hockey, but it also has Rob Lowe and Patrick Stewart. And I always forget, by the way, because it's got Keanu Reeves made his debut. His feature film debut. And then, Chris, who's the coach? I always say he's that guy.
I haven't seen the movie
God,
either.
no, you haven't.
Chris,
Shame
come on.
Ed Lauter. If you look up Ed Lauter, Lauter, you're going to know instantly.
Is he the coach from Not Another Teen Movie?
Yes,
Okay.
100%. And he's the actual coach in Youngblood, and the Rob Lowe ends up having relations with his daughter. Anyways, and Cynthia Gibb has never looked better than any movie other than Youngblood. You've got Swayze, you've got Rob Lowe, you've got fights, you've got montages. I'm overselling it. I'm just saying.
No, you're not. You're selling it perfectly. I'm looking it up right now. A movie comes out 1986 with the category of sport/romance that has a 44 on Rotten Tomatoes. That is right up my wheelhouse. I love it.
It's so good. If for no other reason, if you don't do anything with it, that's fine. I know we follow each other on Twitter. I will Venmo you the $3.99 for Apple TV or Prime to watch it, damn it. But I just want your quick review, even if it's a private one, because I'm excited for both of you to see this movie. So
yeah, maybe that's one where I just crack a couple beers and watch it and just send you a direct message and say, no, I'll try to make a review on it. A lot of these, like, I will, like I said, if I like it, I'm down to do it. Sometimes people will request like a movie that's truly bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that's not, I want to rewatch something that's great.
Isn't the key that it has, isn't one of the keys, Mike, that there has to be a good amount of unintentional comedy involved?
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially with, and action, like movement, right. Because a lot of it is almost, it's voiceover. So you don't want to have to keep pausing and waiting to hear somebody. And I do try, I can hear myself talking. You said artist. I don't think of it that way, but I do try to keep the essence of like the scene. Like I will do like Bloodsport, and even though I call him Van Damme when I'm doing it, right. I will, portray it like it's an actual fight. So I think through that mindset of like, oh, here's a hockey game in the Mighty Ducks. Like, let's break down this hockey game and see what happens. And through that, just because over the years with any movie, but especially one that's 20, 30, 40 years old, there'll be some fun, unintentional comedic moments.
Mike also does quite a bit in sports, in the world of sports as well. It's not just movies. Chris, quit hiding. You as our time runs out with Mike, you had a suggestion from the sports world.
Well, I was going to say, Mike, since the last time we had you on, you were on with Doug Christie, and we got you to do the replay of Doug Christie Rick Fox fight. So there was a more recent fight that happened with the Kings with Domantas Sabonis getting stomped on by Draymond Green. And we all thought that might be a very comedic breakdown from you.
All right, I'm going to look into it because I do remember last time the Doug Christie thing, and I was like, the Doug Christie one was funny because I vaguely remember that, and then sometimes I'll watch something and I'll go, nah, I don't really see it, but then I'll revisit it and go, oh, wait a sec, there's so much there. So.
But that's one of those things. The Rick Fox Doug Christie thing is the thing that this city has talked about since it happened. So over 20 years, that's how much it means to us at this moment.
Oh, there's so much happening in it too. It's great. But anytime you can get, Draymond using his leg that he maybe can't control, stomping on somebody, I'm going to look into that.
Your work with Rocky IV. I mean, there's Coppola. there's Scorsese, there's Camerlengo on Rock, which I believe, and I've argued this till I'm blue in the face, it is not the best Rocky movie. It's not. I think it's the most rewatchable Rocky movie, and that fight scene at the end has so much unintentional comedy combined with one of the greatest chill scenes of all time. He's not a machine. He's a man. And your work through that whole thing, chef's kiss, dude. You did. I'll bet that was a blast to break down.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I've done probably 10 Rocky things, but I did a Rocky 4 recap in 60 seconds. But I also made, because I'm a psycho.
It's like a 6-parter.
I did a 10-minute breakdown. That's one where my wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh no, I just need some time. Can you take care of the kid? I'm working on something important." So it's a 10-minute breakdown of the fight between Rocky and Drago. And I agree. Growing up, I would always say Rocky 4 was the best one. But I'm coming around on maybe Rocky 3. Rocky 3 has so much action. There's 2 fights with Mr. T. There's the fight with Hulk Hogan. There's the training montage on the beach. The "You Can't Win." No, sorry, that's Rocky 4.
That's Rocky 4.
The "What Are You Afraid Of" speech,
right,
where Rocky's like all emo and he has to get Adrian to snap him into it. No, sorry, that's Rocky 4.
That's Rocky 4.
The "What Are You What are you afraid of?
Oh, there you go. Go ahead. Yeah, what are you afraid of?
Yeah, sorry. Well, "You Can't Win" is Rocky 4. What are you afraid of on the beach? Because he finds out that Mickey's been, setting up kind of guys to easily knock down. So R.I.P. Mickey as well. I think Rocky 3 might be the one.
Well, Rocky 3 has maybe the greatest overall moment, which is the beach hug, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And then is 3 the one? Hold on. 3. I know 3. I've seen it a billion times, but that's the one where at the end, because Apollo had Rocky chasing chickens so that he could keep up speed-wise, and then at the end, wasn't Apollo's favor that he asked Rocky was for them to have another fight, and they did that in like Rocky's base, and he goes ding ding. Was that the end of Rocky 3?
Yeah, because he keeps saying at the end of this, "You're gonna owe me a favor," and he's like, "What was a favor?" And it's like you don't know until the end.
So my question is this: it's a good way to wrap up. And again, one of the other things I like is that you have a wife and you're a psycho, and same here, where you have to like make up stuff as to what you're doing, and it sounds really stupid to them. How much time mentally have you spent on how that fight went? Like, did they really fight it out? There was no headgear. Like, did they get bloody? Did they go 12 rounds? Did somebody get knocked out? Like, what happened in that fight? Have you ever thought about it?
Yeah, especially because it cuts out as they're like throwing like hard punches at each other's face. Yeah. I like to think that they both just get hit in the face and like do that thing where you're about to fight your buddy and you're like, what are we even doing, dude? Like one of those. Like it's probably like that, because I don't think they go toe to toe, because when the next movie starts, they're boys again. There's no beef. Apollo wants to fight Drago and chilling in his pool and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's one of those like instant regret. Like we're too old to be fighting each other at a Hooters, And
we'll bring it back to the beginning as we end this, Mike. The character arc and relationship arc between Apollo Creed and Rocky Balboa, going from enemies, if you will, to brothers in the end, and Rocky and the montage and the callback to Apollo dying in his arms and looking up at Drago. That's everything that Frank Dukes and Ogre weren't.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if they got 4 movies together, they would be, I think it's just so, if you only had Rocky and Apollo in 8 minutes of scenes together, you would be like, why do they even care about each other? But yeah, to have them get 4 movies, and then they continue to build it with flashbacks and stuff. I can still picture Rocky holding on to that towel, not throwing it in. It's like, come on, man, throw it.
Well, it just made me think. I'm looking it up right now. Rocky 4 came out in 1985, and I want to say Bloodsport. Wasn't that 90-something? 88.
88, yeah.
Wow, did Bloodsport rip a little off of the Rocky 4 Apollo died montage with the Ogre montage with the bloody headband?
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Mike Camerlango.
You know what it is? Yeah. It's like it's too. You're like pitting my 2 children against each other. I'm not going to say one of them did anything wrong. Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? It doesn't matter. We're all buddies here. Yeah.
M. Camerlango on Twitter, 60secondclassics.com. And if you're familiar with him, you're welcome. If you're not familiar with him, that's almost even better. You're double welcome, because have fun with that rabbit hole. You do great stuff, Mike. We are big fans. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate coming on. I was on a couple years ago when COVID first started, so it's much better to be on now. And I'm going to look into that basketball beef you said, Chris.
And I want your review on Youngblood. Don't forget.
Oh, yeah, that's first.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
Youngblood's first. I got to tell my wife we got a date night coming up this weekend.
All right, brother. Be good.
All right, thanks.
See you. That's my Camerlango. Follow him online. And seriously, he is Chris and I aren't we don't like a lot of stuff together, but that is one guy we share a mutual love for.
Do you like the idea of him watching that movie with his missus and 20 minutes in just saying, "Wait, why are we watching this?"
I don't know how many of you out there have seen Youngblood. You're probably over 40 if you have. But if you have seen Youngblood, you know exactly. Chris, you've never seen Youngblood.
No.
Super talented 18-year-old kid from like Moose Jaw, Canada. Looks amazing. Rob Lowe. I mean, young prime Rob Lowe. Way too pretty for hockey, and they know it. Goes and joins the minor league team, and Patrick Swayze's the guy, and then you have the Reki, who's the big goon on the other team that just it plays dirty and all the stuff that happens. And by the way, Rob Lowe doesn't know how to fight in hockey, so he's got to learn. And then Reki ends up taking Patrick Swayze's skates out from under him after he flips his helmet off. Swayze's head hits. Remember in Days of Thunder when what's his face, John C. Reilly's character got in the crash? That's basically what happens to Swayze. He's in the hospital with a coma and a bloody
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, Talladega Nights. And Swayze's career might be over, and now Rob Lowe's got to avenge the whole thing, but he doesn't know how to fight. And then he quits hockey, and there's a montage scene where his dad teaches him how to fight, and then there's a showdown scene between him and Reki, and the whole thing happens. Meanwhile, he's making it happen with the coach's daughter, Cynthia Gibb, and there's montages and cheesy 80s music. It really is. Youngblood really is one of the more underrated dumb sports movies in the history of dumb sports movies. And oh, by the way, as we said earlier, Keanu Reeves makes his film debut. Not Bill and Ted. Youngblood.
Not Parenthood.
Not Parenthood. Youngblood.
This might be a first. I can't find it on any streaming.
No. You go to Just Watch?
Uh-huh.
You went to Just Watch and you can't find it?
Yeah, you can't even rent it.
No
on
way.
Prime Video.
What? Find it? Oh, hold on.
Yeah, you can't even rent it.
I got it. Sorry. Trying to bring that back up. How's that even possible? It's a classic. How does that even happen with movies where they literally go away and you can't ever see them again? How does that even happen? Like, that's the only thing that sucks, really, or one of the things that sucks about like the whole streaming world is like, yeah, you're right. I mean, not that I knew you were lying. I just had to see it for myself. It's not available for streaming. Yet there's another movie called Young Blood in 1978. I'm not joking. That's available to stream on multiple things. That's not the same movie. I can rent Young Blood Hawk, Hawke, 1964. Young Blood 2. I can watch all Young Blood Agency, but I can't see Young Blood with the late Patrick Swayze, the late Ed Lauter, Cynthia Gibb, Rob Lowe, and Keanu Reeves in his feature film debut. What? Again, if I never would, but I'm telling you, man, if I ever ran for office, that's another thing. No erasing movies like that. Trying to think, like there wasn't anything like racist or offensive or horrible.
I'm guessing it like whatever studio put it out. Maybe they're not around anymore, or
but then buy the rights. Does anybody out there? Well, how the hell would you? Even if somebody had a DVD, do you have a DVD player?
Yeah, I don't have a DVD player.
There's no way that Camerlengo can watch it then. Oh, this is just crap. All right. I might have a Youngblood DVD somewhere in a box in my garage.
I could get to a DVD player if need be.
Let me see here. Hold on. This is just garbage. Well, aren't there like used DVD sites and stuff where you can still buy like out of print or whatever DVDs? Let me see, just for fun. Can I even buy this thing on Amazon? I'll do. If it's not stupid, I'll buy it. $19.29 for a Youngblood DVD. By the way, there's 3 left in stock, but I can't stream it. I can get the VHS for $11. You got a VCR? Probably not. Wait a minute. Look out. We've got a winner, folks. For $18, I can get you the Patrick Swayze triple play DVD. And this might actually be, it's tough to do better here. Youngblood, Red Dawn, and Roadhouse. I mean, you don't have Point Break, which, by the way, I just put that together. Point Break, Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves. Youngblood, Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves debut. Red Dawn, Roadhouse, and Youngblood. Those are all A-plus movies.
Great movies.
Those are all A-plus movies.
Avenge me! Hey, guys, you got to be quiet, and you got to stay away from everybody. So go, hide. Avenge me!
All right, there's a Youngblood Blu-ray? Wow. So you're saying you could find a DVD player?
Yes.
How hard would that be?
Not hard.
All right, so because I'm willing to put down the 20 bones to have this triple play movie thingy. You gotta commit to me that you will go watch, and then maybe we'll mail it out to Camerlengo as a present. We'll take a break. When we come back, Sasha Vezenkov really, really, really wanted to go back to Europe. We'll tell you how bad he wanted to go back to Europe next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
When an overwhelmed injury victim calls Ashton or Price, we immediately remove their legal burden and introduce them to the very best medical care in the region. They focus on their health, and we handle all the rest. When they reach the end of their medical journey and are reunited with happiness and hope, we unleash our decades of legal experience to obtain maximum compensation. We are real, local, experienced litigators, and snappy dressers too. Consultation's free, and there's never a fee until we win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another three-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Match De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
This is it. Shop the Lowe's closeout event to get up to 70% off select major appliances for your home. Plus, get up to 60% off select patio furniture and accessories for your outdoor spaces. So hurry into your local store today because these deals are too good to last. Shop them now before they're gone because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 8/7 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go. So I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partnered with Beacon. With their unique Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through September 15th, purchase GAF through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
Summer is finally here, and so are all the best deals on DeWalt power tools at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. Drills, impacts, circular saws, you name it, we have it for the best price in town, guaranteed. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned tradesman, we've got all the DeWalt products you need to crush your next project. So come on down to Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet today on Power and Road for better tools and better prices. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Unleash your backyard's potential with Premier Pools and Spas. As the region's top pool builder, no challenge is too difficult for us. Let us create the perfect pool for your home and your budget. Call or search Premier Pools and Spas and get started today. CSLB number 589234.
Hey, what's up? Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I've had my new Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV for about 6 months now, and it's still the best car driving experience that I've ever had. And I got some news for you. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton doesn't just have cars or SUVs, they also have Sprinter vans, and they have special rates starting at 4.9% APR and an $8,000 discount on over 30 vans in stock. So head on down there right now to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton and check out their new Sprinter vans. Just a short drive right off the 5 in Stockton.
Keep your family cool and comfortable this summer with Bell Brothers' best summer ever financing event. When you replace your AC system, we're offering 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on approved credit, then low fixed rate thereafter. That's right, 0 payments, 0 interest for 6 months on any new AC system. It's an incredible offer on an incredible new AC system, but only for a limited time. This offer is also available on any plumbing, water heater, or insulation projects over $1,000. So call Bell Brothers now. Your family will thank you because they'll be cool and comfortable. But you have to hurry. Our offer for 0 payment, 0 interest for 6 months, then low fixed rate thereafter ends soon. Estimates and second opinions are free. So call now to keep your family cool and comfortable during Bell Brothers' best summer ever event. Our number is 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com. That's theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach, kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. 0 litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
You know, Chris and I did not talk during the break, so this is just a total coincidence that you're playing this song. Because speaking of mustard, I saw this during the break. To the blank word who put mustard packets under the toilet rim. This is a note somebody took a picture of in a public bathroom. Nothing in this world would give me more pleasure than finding out who you are, digging up your childhood pet, and beating you with its corpse. Somewhere between wiping mustard off of my blank and removing my now yellow boxers, I realize that this injustice can't go unsettled. For the rest of your life and your most private moments, know that I, the only thing preventing a dysfunctional veteran from waterboarding you with mustard is the knowledge of your existence. I hope you stub your toe every day for the rest of your life. Putting mustard packets underneath the toilet seat? That is a wonderfully terrible idea. Which I would not do. And I don't want done to me. Also, sometimes social media is great. This might be the best idea I've ever heard. Forgive me if I'm late to the party. Do not ask your wife where she wants to eat. Ever. Well, we all know that. Tell her to guess where you're taking her to eat. Then take her to the first guess. say to her, "You got it," and boom. You've solved the riddle. One of the oldest arguments ever. By the way, because I see it in the chat and I've seen it around, and according to the New York Post, so we'll see. But Jimmy Carter has not passed away. That is according to the AP and the Carter Center. A widely circulated letter claiming former President Jimmy Carter has died is a hoax, according to the Carter Center. The false letter has been seen by hundreds of thousands of people. It included typos and a satirical quote. And
I wouldn't say it.
No, did you say that out loud? Or
I did say it out loud.
I'm just saying, I'm not going to. But if you read the letter, if you read the letter, you would know that his references, let's just say like this. Some of the terms he uses in references to his late wife, Rosalind, and especially Nancy Reagan, you would tell you very quickly that it's not, that it's a hoax. So,
do you know who didn't think it was a hoax?
I believe there is a current sitting senator that didn't believe it.
Senator Mike Lee.
Yep, saw that. Sasha Vezenkov. It's always there's nothing like segueing from a Jimmy Carter died hoax to Sasha Vezenkov. Because Sasha Vezenkov wanted to go back to Europe in the worst way. Now, you remember this time last year, we were all giddy and excited that we have what was he, 27 years old, EuroLeague reigning MVP coming here to provide much-needed shooting. Well, he was traded to the Raptors after just one season with Sacramento. That's what brought Jalen McDaniels to Sacramento. He had 1 year left on a $6.65 million contract. He had $6.5 million plus left. Well, he wanted out, and the only thing in the way was the buyout. So Sasha made the Toronto Raptors an offer that they couldn't refuse. He, in fact, gave up all the money. He literally is paying $6.5 million to go back home. Now, reportedly, he's already signed a 5-year deal to return to Olympiacos, where he was there for the 5 years before joining the Kings. You may remember that the Kings traded Vezenkov, Davion Mitchell, the draft rights to Houston's Jamal Shead, and a 2025 second-round pick to the Raptors in exchange for McDaniels. This was seen as a cost-cutting move for the Kings, who cleared space to get under the tax so they could sign DeMar DeRozan. I guess my question is this. I assume, I'm not the best cap guy. I assume that even if Vezenkov had agreed to the complete buyout where the Kings don't have to pay anything, I assume that would have still counted against the cap. Because I asked that because if it didn't, well, then he could have just done that, and the Kings could still have Jamal Shead and the second-round pick and Davion Mitchell, which, I don't know. I feel like that would have been preferable, but I'm quite positive because Monty McNair, Wes Wilcox, and friends are not morons. I'm quite clear that I'm sure one of two things is the case. Number one, most likely that still would have counted against the cap, so it's a moot point. Or number two, Sasha was in no mood to pay the entire buyout, and then they didn't have a choice. Let's take caller 5 right now at 1-800-920-1140 to experience the ultimate tribute band, Mick and the Stones, this August. Only at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. All you got to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. What caller did I say? Caller 5?
5.
5. Caller 5. De'Aaron Fox. And you get that pair of tickets for an unforgettable night of the songs you know and love from Mick and the Stones. Only at Thunder Valley Casino and Resort. For more information, visit SacktownSports.com. Coming up next, we'll have Crosstalk celebrity birthdays. Also, what to watch. And since we're going to be doing all of that in the next segment, that will be packed. Let me just take a moment as we go to break to say I will be back on the 12th of August, the day after my birthday. Thank you very much. And that means I'll be gone for a while. So Jason will return tomorrow. And he and Chris will take the show all the way through. They're going to have a little bit of a time off. So we're getting ready. We're gearing up for the sports season and getting our time off out of the way, at least until the holidays, if you will. But I love taking time off. I love going on vacation, especially with my family. Don't get me wrong, but I will, believe it or not, I will actually miss all of you. I will. And you know this because I'm kind of psychotic. I'm sure probably check in a couple times from over there. I will definitely be reading. Remember, this show runs 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. over there. So I'll be right in the middle of my day when you guys come on, and I'm sure I'll be reading the chat and saying hi to people. And, when you do this every single day for 4 hours, 5 days a week, the listeners and the chatters and the texters become a part of your everyday world, a part of your family. And it's not just a job. I appreciate the interaction. I appreciate the back and forth, even if it's whether it's Raider stuff or MC that's mad at me or whomever it may be. It's a part of my life, and it's been a part of my life for a long time. So thank you. And I promise to come back recharged. And listen, no staying up late, no big parties. Be a bunch of good boys and good girls, and maybe I'll bring you something back. I'll bring you back some form of wafer or cheese or whatever the hell they have in Austria and everything else. But thank you guys, seriously. Thank all of you. My thanks sincerely to all of you for showing up here every day, for listening to my dumb, drony, lispy voice and horrible takes and all that fun stuff. I will miss you guys, so stay in touch. We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch, Crosstalk, celebrity birthdays, Styles and Watkins, and more right after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Styles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and, of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebate. $12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price. Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing, some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7/31/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
What other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, it sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Nope, no Jason Ross. It's Carmichael Dave. It's Chris Rillard. It's Chris Watkins. It's a chilly Alan Stiles. This is cold. This is not. What are you? What is that? A bunny? What happened to that boy? What is? This is not cold.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
What did Master P make him say?
Oh, I know this one. God dang it. I just saw this yesterday.
I mean, you're kind of right.
Yeah, I know it wasn't things that make you go, but it was, what was it? I just saw
Really,
this.
Dave?
I just saw it, and I'm
really, man. I thought that was a layup for you. Make him say,
Okay.
Wow. That's a rough scene for Lod.
You know, what do you want?
That's a rough scene for Dave.
You put me on the spot.
Luckily, Chris Verlad doesn't have the cuts from the play-by-play.
Oh my God! Yesterday. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we gotta get those.
Dave would have a lot of fun with those.
What play-by-play is this?
I did play-by-play for a professional women's league, and I was making everyone in the common area listen to my videos. And Nate cut them, and we were playing them on the show.
Where are these cuts?
Nate
Drop
has them.
top, oh, come on.
Wait,
what?
Drop top, raindrop.
Oh, we're just finding this out at the end of the show. The whole show would have been this. Oh. It's raindrop.
Oh, that's not it.
Oh,
that's static.
That's me after the show.
Oh man.
I'm meeting with our friendly neighborhood consultant is in the building today, and I'm meeting with why everybody's getting uncomfortable. This is the business. In radio and in TV, you have consultants that listen to you. They're like a white glove team.
Yeah.
They come in, they're not part of the building, and they listen. They've been around the business, and they say, hey, you do this and you do that and you do that. And I feel like everybody in the business likes this because it's like constructive criticism. It's a way to make yourself better and all that. And it's not that I don't like it. It's just I take it I take it way too personally.
Sure.
Like it could be like the greatest meeting, and he's like, everything you guys are doing are great. It is great. I love it. I love you. It's awesome. I wouldn't change a thing. You know, I would call it maybe 4 for madness and not 3 for I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Right? And I'd be like, on the plane ride tomorrow, I'm like, wow, like having an existential crisis. Like, is everything I'm doing wrong?
Yeah.
Is everything wrong? Why am I even here?
Yeah, that's how it is. You'll be all right.
That's why media people are such wackos if you've been in this business long enough. Because I've said this before. Imagine your job where you're on display every day. You start over from scratch every single day. The content changes. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. And then once a week, you get to have numbers read to you where people literally that you'll never meet.
Told people when I got into this, it's just weird to have a job where like your performance, or if you're going to continue, is literally based off of a hard number. Like in no other job, it feels like, hey, you can get by just doing the bare minimum, sometimes less than the bare minimum. You can have that job for 15 years, but we can do a great show every day. If nobody listens, we're kaput.
Yeah, I guess the only thing that's similar would kind of be sales, but it's still
a little bit.
It's still different.
Because you can go out and
you
control.
You
can knock on every door, and you're going to get some
door.
sales. I guess we can knock on every door and tell them to listen.
I've been
pretty much doing that. Why do you think I was up at 5:30 in the morning?
It's the right way to go.
Big
right
Maloney.
at the turn, right?
I've been here on and off since the turn of the millennium in the same market I grew up in, at the station I grew up listening to. I've been blessed enough to be here 20 plus years. And I will tell you, there is one key over everything when it comes to job security. You have to have blackmail. You have to have compromising photos.
Find where the bodies
you have
are
to
buried.
have recorded voice memos. I mean, you got to know where all the bodies are buried, because I don't have talent. I don't have broadcasting ability. Many of you out there might wonder, why is this mealy-mouthed moron on the air for 20 years in a prime spot? Yeah, the list, the whole thing. Quite frankly, it's blackmail. I just blackmail.
Yeah,
it's 100% of the reason.
I've heard
why.
that.
Yeah. And I'm open about it. Like, go ahead. Let me go.
Yeah, that's a power move.
I'm taking everybody with me. I'm taking this whole building. Yeah, I'm taking the whole thing now.
Yeah, well,
okay, not the whole thing, but just
I got a kid.
Everything else.
I'm not taking the building. I'm leaving Legos on the floor for you to step on in the morning.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing. Let me tell you that. You guys ever seen the movie Youngblood? You have, but you're nodding. What is that? You're nodding
because I'm nodding, and I know that you saw.
Of course I did. If I told you there was a hockey movie with Rob Lowe, Patrick Swayze, and the feature film debut of Keanu Reeves creating a partnership that would later come together again in the movie Point Break with Patrick Swayze, wouldn't you be interested?
I'm in.
I would say that would have to be the fourth best hockey movie that we could think of.
Miracle.
No.
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks. What's the one with Russell Crowe where he's in Alaska or whatever? Mystery Alaska. What are the other three?
Yeah.
Mighty Ducks.
Oh,
Mighty Ducks 2.
That's right.
Me
Get off of
Mighty
me.
Ducks 3.
You ever saw Airborne?
No.
There's got to be an Airbud hockey.
No. Well, yeah. But Airborne, where they race, Chris, it's in the 90s, and they race rollerblades. Very sketchy race.
I think Mike Carmichael did a breakdown of that. So I've seen that. Is that when they're like racing like through the city and over bridges and stuff like that?
Yes.
So I have seen that scene. I haven't seen the movie.
I wanted to be a rollerblader.
Not a skater. You got the inlines.
I had both.
Hey,
I had both.
Remember earlier when I started the show, I was talking about that how bad the interviewer did by not letting the silence happen. That was an example right there. As soon as he said I wanted to be a rollerblader, we should have all just said nothing for about 10 seconds. And I promise you he would have followed up with something.
We told the story.
Oh, have you?
Which one?
One where you ate it.
Oh, the X Games?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first X Games, they were in San Francisco.
And you were in them?
No, well, they had a skate park on the side for the kiddos. And I'd never been on a half pipe before. Decided now was the time. I had on my inline skates, so they weren't the correct skates because these were from inline hockey. I was very good at that as well. And I decided to just hop into the half pipe, and I just fell on my face. No. And I just skated away and never went on the half pipe again. Well, sometimes you got to do it,
Sometimes you got you know what you need a half pipe.
Are we boring you?
No.
On your phone,
dude. No, you want to know?
Are you getting ready to leave? Where are you going anyway?
Going to Austria. You want to know what just happened there? No, seriously. My brother texted me, and I thought it was something. He goes, "Dude, can you believe this person? Can you believe she died?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, who died?" And I clicked on it, and I'm not going to tell you what the picture was.
Is it something where we have an idea of what
You ever see the
picture
guy
is?
sitting on the edge of the bed? Yeah, let's just think in that frame. And so I was instantly trying to X out of it very quickly.
It's on the camera, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Blackmail on you now.
You weren't boring me. I just had to get rid of the photo. Hey,
Sure, you're taking off.
Yeah, do you guys want anything from Europe? Seriously.
You did this last time. You brought me nothing. You were supposed to bring me a swag, a shirt.
They didn't have anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Not in the whole continent.
Professor X would have had some.
Did you ever see them? Okay.
Are you a little sad that all of our favorite Patrick Stewart isn't
It's
Star
not
Trek?
Star Trek, yeah. You just made me think of for no reason because I was like, it'd be funny to do a joke with you, and I couldn't think of like what the joke would be. You ever see the video of the guys are like out getting ready for the wedding? They're looking for they're in the suit place, and the guy pulls out.
Yes.
And I was like, what if I brought you a smoke? I know you're very self-conscious about that.
I'm
and
not,
you shouldn't be.
You and Whitey, man.
The afternoon guy. Okay. Celebrity birthdays. Brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Cookies are meant to be spent with birthdays are meant to be spent or cookies with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together more than Crumble Cookies.
Happy birthday to Woody Harrelson.
Interesting.
He's gonna be older.
What's your favorite Woody Harrelson movie, Chris?
Zombieland.
7 pounds.
I'm not blanking. The one with the Tarantino one. Where they're the serial killers. Him and what's her face?
Natural Born Killers.
Thank you. Natural.
What about the other one?
Mine is Semi-Pro.
What about the other one?
Oh
Chris?
yeah, that's a great one.
No Country for Old Men.
No.
God, I hate that movie.
Katniss Everdeen.
The
Hunger Games?
Hunger Games.
You thought that would be Chris's answer?
I just slopped through those last time. Woody is 64.
62.
Yeah, 67.
We've got a tie.
3.
Woody Harrelson.
Good.
Happy birthday, Monica Lewinsky.
I know this. No, I do. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's I would say she is 45. Nate's literally texting me a photo of what he'd like. Didn't I already bring you a shirt?
48. So Nate got a shirt. 48.
I'll say 50.
Chris is the closest. 51.
Hey, well done. 50.
DeAndre Ayton. Ooh. Happy birthday, DeAndre Ayton.
He is, I'm going to say 22. I'll say 26. No, that's too old. You're right. No, it's too old. He's 24,
28
25.
or 29.
Nope. But she's 24, 25. Yeah. That's gross.
25.
That is disgusting.
27.
We have the correct answer. Carmichael Dave, 26.
Thank you. Thank you.
And time for one more, Gary Payton.
Which one?
Which senior?
Senior.
Love.
Gary Payton is 56.
53.
58.
The correct answer. Carmichael Dave,
That's
56.
That's how you go to Europe, baby.
right.
What's coming up on the show today?
Well, you stole our guest, Casey Pratt, so we'll be discussing
We did?
Casey
Yeah, we
Pratt.
talked about it yesterday on this very crosstalk.
We did?
We sure did.
Chris, we talked about Casey Pratt?
I thought Pratt reached out to you or something like that.
No, I reached. Oh, that's probably why I was thinking. I'm sorry. I did.
No.
I swear to God, I didn't do that on
It's
purpose.
the second time you've done this.
What was the first time?
Well, it wasn't with us.
Oh, with Whitey? Well, whatever. Hey, I will call him. You want him to come back?
No,
Come
it's
back
all
on
good.
to- I
No,
really-
you
I
did a
truly
great job.
apologize.
We have some of that
I don't
audio.
leave for that with that on my mind.
Yeah,
discuss-
so bring us back nothing. See what happens.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
A's, Giants, and Team USA, and of course, we'll get into some Kings and Niners.
My wife's favorite show, the Styles Watkins program, coming up right after this. Love you all.
The
Bye-bye.
NFL's leading rusher plays here.
A handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey,